Hi everyone, it's Mish and Mark is at work. So today we're going to be showing you a little bit of a preview. Well, preview may not be a good word because preview is usually a small bit, right? But we're going to allow you to come on in and watch our family gathering as we eat together. And as it is Foody Friday, we're giving you a special episode so that you can watch and hear what we talk about during our family dinner. You know, in some families, you have a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting, a lot of yelling, and sometimes some people get up from the table, walk away, and get crazy, get mad, and all that kind of stuff. But that's not what happens at our family dinner. We have deep conversations that cause people to wonder, is this appropriate at this family dinner at this point in time? But let us know in the chat, what do you think? As you are welcome being part of our family dinner. You can watch and just give us your comments, your feedback, and whatever you want to say about our family dinner and our conversations. So stay tuned right after this. Ciao. Look who's here. Oh, you brought a whole big scrapbook?
Yes, we did.
What is this, your GoPro?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's so skinny, small. I was thinking to do a video today.
For the gathering?
Yes.
See this? rotating.
Oh, so that people can
And it's non-slip too, so the pieces stay.
turn on the other light, please? So it's bright.
Bring it.
Oh, cool. So how are you? So introduce yourself.
My name is Daniel. What else do you want to know?
And I'm Courtney. Hello.
Welcome to my humble home. Okay, come on in.
You brought sorrow.
Oh, that's sorrow.
Yes.
I was thinking to myself, oh, probably wine or something. Okay, I have to sit this properly because right now I just kind of have it.
Oh, this fire?
Maybe. It's gonna be fun. Just be yourselves. So right now, as you can see, the kitchen is ready to go. I've done everything I need to do for the food. Yeah, hopefully it will taste just as good as it smells. So where are you guys coming from? Like directly from Brampton? Where is it? That university, or are you just coming from Vaughan? Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're at my church earlier today.
Oh, that's where you guys went today?
This morning.
Oh, cool. So Isaac said he's on his way, so it's going to be a small gathering today. Yeah. Watch me be awkward with this now, because sometimes this is what happens. Trying to set it up. Good. He's in North Carolina. Yeah. He's in North Carolina because he originally got like scheduled for the last week, and then he found out that the regular routine, which will kind of bring him back on this weekend, it didn't work out. So he was not really happy about that. He was upset. I'm not going to say anything what he was going to say, what he was going to do, but he was like, this is not fair. Yeah, so just waiting for Isaac. Yeah, so I don't know where to put this to make it more realistic.
What do you mean? Realistic?
Okay, so I'm just gonna put it right here because we're kind of gonna be here somewhat. So what's going on? How's everything?
Good.
How was the weather? Because I know it was raining.
Well, the rain is.
Can I have a seat?
The rain's been okay. The good weather too.
Yeah.
It's still pretty rainy.
Say that again?
It's still pretty rainy right now.
Yeah, because I had the back door open and because wait, did I close it? Yes, I did. Okay. So I had this up earlier, and then because what does it smell like? What does it smell like when you came in?
I don't know, just like some kind of meat.
It doesn't. Oh, so you don't know what? You don't have a specific. Okay, good. Because if you are smelling something specific, then that will not be good. Because that's why I opened the door and the window, and then the heavy duty fan. That's powerful.
Yeah, it is. When I was here, and I don't remember why I did this. Like I did something here, but anyway, I used the medium one, and the medium was like good enough. Because the high setting is like ridiculous.
Really? I'm just trying to see if it's very good.
Is there a screen on the other side?
Yeah. So I can see. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah, because I'm like, there's a screen here too.
Yeah, because
So I can see like what you're seeing probably.
Yeah, but I can also I am on the the taping end and you're on the focus end. So yeah. I hope Isaac is game. I was thinking to put it up here, but then what? Do you have anything that I need to put in the fridge, or it's fine
Just
outside?
the Starbucks fine outside.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Unless we want.
Yeah. Or I guess ice. You got flowers from someone?
Yeah, Mark gave me flowers
Or
just for giving me sake. Oops. Oh, so you can see everything. Oh yeah, somebody gave me that mug.
this is huge. What do you?
I drink tea.
Yeah.
I drink tea. The whole thing. You can see everybody.
Did you have time off work?
Only few days, like not fully, like just maybe well, I got Tuesday last week half day off. Then I got well obviously Wednesday, no sorry, Wednesday Thursday I was obviously off, and then Friday I had to go back to work because my employees at work, so I mean off, so I had to go to work.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, my sister has a GoPro as well.
Oh, she does?
And she takes it underwater, like, we'll go.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is because it's the encasing around it. That's how you protect it, so you can actually put it under the water.
Yeah, it's amazing. And she gets really good footage of animals and like all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I've been using it and use it on YouTube and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. I kind of was thinking, you know what? I just gonna, because it would be nice to like have like more natural environment rather than always just. But we always do it anyways, like a natural footage. Because Mark and I were going somewhere and we are just kind of like, okay, here we go. We're on our bike. We're just going. We look at stuff, and I mean, we're just naturally reacting to the things that we're experiencing. So we'll just add that to it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So how's work?
It's good. I'm off now for a bit, which is great.
Oh, for the next few days? What, 2 weeks?
No, I worked last week except Wednesday, Thursday. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh,
And then I'm off all of next week. So
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's kids, right?
So kids. And a lot of the families, they don't want, like, the first week of January is really busy. And so my work said you can just take it up.
Okay.
But it's going well.
Oh, cool. I just some light bulb just came over my head. A light bulb just came over my head.
Or
Ideas.
what?
Because I was thinking to myself, interviews. Because last night I interviewed Mark, but we did it on Zoom.
Interview.
Yes, because we were talking about like habits, health habits that people may have, and things that people could try to improve on, especially the new year coming up. People may want to think about making changes to improve their health, whether it's the eating or the movements, exercise and so on. So I thought that would be good, but we'll see. I mean, a lot of people may not necessarily tune in yet, but eventually it depends. Because if somebody's looking for something, they'll find it, right? So, I mean, I know some people, they are able to attract people right away. We're still working on that. Isaac and I were talking about it actually.
Has this been what's it called? A resource for you?
No, we were just talking about it today.
Oh.
So,
Don't you like asking like questions about what you're doing, Jan? Like ask for his feedback or?
sometimes I think he's good at providing, how do I say, appropriate or relevant And I guess because he relevant feedback, and I guess because of his age group too, because sometimes you find that people who are within a certain age group, they tend to be more trendy and more current versus me, who is kind of like more in the back in the day kind of mindset and views and creativity. So it's kind of like you have to get somebody who is more um, going with the flow. Isaac has ideas, and you know what I noticed when he was doing his photography? He did a little bit. You didn't know he was in photography at school? He was.
Oh wait, yeah, I do. What recent kind of? Not
Yeah.
recent, but
Yeah. So he was doing photography at
Also
school.
random.
Yeah, he was doing photography at school, and
He was
he.
doing journalism, right, at first, or something like that, writing. He was some writing related thing.
Well, he was doing that too, but what I mean is like the photography was one of the courses and stuff, right? And some of the ideas that he had were really good. Like I was like, wow, that's good. So that's what I'm saying. I understand.
Isaac has a pretty creative mind, honestly.
Huh?
Isaac has a pretty creative mind.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to piggyback on his creativity. Maybe I should use him to create some of our thumbnails and stuff.
Mom, you know that you have to be careful around with clickbait. You know what clickbait is?
Oh yeah, so you say stuff and that's not what you're talking about?
Well, in the title or in the thumbnail. Like when the video, let's say, I don't know, like it could be deceiving, right? Deception for views. Because your thing is like, whoa, like this video looks like it's crazy, like this thing is gonna happen. You click it, the video doesn't even talk about that, or like this is not what happened, right? Clickbaiting is now something that YouTube is gonna crack down on because up till now they haven't, and there might be like penalties for clickbaiting. People can get like strikes, lose their channel, stuff like that. Not fines, but you know what I mean? Yeah, like, it's basically gonna be a like, I don't know, so.
That makes sense because a lot of people are getting.
Because they want views, right? Like, so they'll try to do something like, to incite people to watch the video.
Well, I mean, if you're honest and you're doing what you say you're doing, that's a different story. But if you're saying something other than what you're actually putting on there, then that's deception for sure. So that doesn't make sense.
I'm not saying that's what you're doing, I'm just saying that's what
No.
YouTube is.
No. For me, when I say you have to be attractive, because if people see something, would you not click on it? Like if it's attractive, right? You don't click on something that's not attractive. So and then there is also something in terms of psychology with colors. Colors also affect you a certain way.
Red.
Yeah,
You know it?
I know that. It has a way of attracting you. That's the reason why YouTube and all these different channels. And if you notice, most of even the social media icons or logos, a lot of them have red in it because it pulls you in. Blue is usually, well, I did a little bit of research on psychology of colors. Blue, it signifies trust. Trust. And a lot of times you find that businesses that deal with money,
Royal Bank.
yes, blue. Maybe TV is an anomaly, but TV is on every corner, so
But also
you can't
green
miss it.
money. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
green money, but also trust and insurance companies. You'll find blue, right?
A lot.
Right. And white signifies purity. So what do you see with white? Nurses, doctors, anything have to do with medication, whether church. A lot of it signifies church logos, purity, and the blue. So if you have blue and white, trust and purity, a combination.
Oh, color theory.
So then another thing that you probably don't know is like so the red, it gives you this desire, right? But then if you want somebody to be interested in eating, like yellows and orange.
McDonald's.
Yes.
All
And red also. So it's a combination of different desires. One make you hungry, one make you
Desire.
and then one just,
Mhm.
well, I forgot what the orange is, but of course, yellow and red, when you combine them, they make orange. So orange is just like an additional,
Like a
color.
middle ground or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, colors, and
Burger
most
King,
most
all
of
this
them
really-
have yellow. Because
Yeah,
yellow
yellow, red.
as an opportunity to give people the, like they start to salivate when they see
Yeah,
yellow.
KFC, Popeyes,
Yes.
Wendy's.
All of them have yellow, but you see, people don't know that. That's why when we were gonna do the restaurant, we had to come up with, and I said to my partner, I said, let's put yellow in there. We have to put yellow, and then of course green gives it the tropical vibes. Yellow makes people hungry. Red, the desire.
Mhm.
Yeah. So colors are very important.
Interesting.
And especially if you're gonna start up a new business, you always put colors. 'Cause
Would you ever do a restaurant again?
that's not my thing really, to
So
be
no.
honest. I don't think so. Originally, it was not necessarily
Mhm.
something I was jumping up and down about, but I reluctantly decided to agree,
Give it a shot.
give it a shot. And my business partner knows that because when I was approached, I said, I don't know.
Mhm.
And I was told, give it some thought, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. So I said, you know what? But I had some ideas that I thought that, based on what I've seen, that worked, that would have been interesting in terms of incorporating that in the business. Convenience is very important. Attraction. So when you come in, first of all, you have to make people want to stay. And though you might think that, okay, certain kind of person may have a certain sort of stigma or whatever, I feel like fast food, the environment has to make sense. But if you want to do very, very well, especially if you want people to come and sit down and eat the dinners and stuff, because I don't think a lot of people are sitting down and eating in fast food as much as they do when they want to go out to like more upper class or maybe a fancy
So
restaurant.
just in general, if you want to go out to eat, to sit down, you're not going to McDonald's.
No,
If you're going to a restaurant.
you want to go to a restaurant and especially if you're bringing somebody on a date, and even if you want to host an event, you want it to be classy because you want your pictures to look nice, these kind of things. So you have to bear those things in mind. Like, I mean, that's what I always think. Like, you can't just jump into something and not. You may have like a passion for it, or maybe you might have a vision, but sometimes you have to really get some good feedback from people who have been in the business or who know what it looks like and what you can do to get the kind of response that you're looking for. So that sort of thing. But yeah, that's not a really big thing for me.
Sir,
I respect that.
lady up there, good.
Yeah, so that's basically it. So I'm very, particular. I mean, if I'm doing something on my own, most of the time I would know exactly what I'm getting into, and I would get as much information as I can before I jump into it. I hardly ever jump into something without knowing how and really talk to people and find out more about it. Yeah. So I am very huh? It's okay.
Okay.
No, I saw her face and I said she didn't know. That's all right.
I'm like, is that? And then he did it more.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's kind of like an old-fashioned thing where you just feel like, just let it go.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, when you get to a certain age, you just stop trying.
Yeah.
Like, oops.
It's a bad habit because I don't think that some people would. Have you ever heard? Okay.
Well, definitely it's a habit. Like you.
No, it depends on the person. Have you ever heard? Okay. He's never done that.
I've never heard.
No,
So it's
okay,
different.
no,
It's
but
different.
that's what I mean. It's a habit. So at a certain point in life, you just say,
It's not.
I don't care anymore,
No.
and then you start doing it.
No, Daniel. It's different type of people that have a certain mindset.
But those are the people who say, I don't care, and that's
No,
when
but
they
this
start.
was happening from way back. Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm
Never
trying
mind.
to tell you.
Okay, then that's the habit part. Then.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you've been doing something from you were like young, right? My mom, I've never heard that ever. So and she'd be like, behave yourself, or stuff like that. So obviously, it's a practice. It's something that it's been developed.
So
And
what? Okay, how come? I mean, not that I haven't been around him like super often until he moved. Oh, I never heard him do that. Like,
Well,
when
probably-
I visited Jamaica, when he visited here, I never heard it
you
until.
see, because you're now living. Well, you were living on the. You were here, right? No, you weren't. Oh yeah. So it's kind of different when you're here more most of the time. I don't know.
Honestly, you know that
I understand too, because it was always happening.
Yeah.
It was
No, but
always-
I think I wasn't. I think it's just the frequency, how much I'm around or not. Because I remember living down here downstairs, and like I'd come up to Joshua, and Joshua would like tell me, like I don't know why we're talking about carbon and stuff. Like it was just the topic of the conversation. And I was just like, really? I was shocked because I never heard him before.
I never heard that before.
He's like, yeah, he's bad. Like, he'll just, I'm like I'm laughing, but I never heard it until like recently. Just like, oh.
Yeah, it's another level. But the concept or the mindset is, this thing can kill you. So
Yeah, the gas. This gas. The gas is the enemy.
but I think in a sense,
It's true. Like gas is not good to be held in, but it's like I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny. Like I remember. I don't know if you remember this one time. Remember I came to you and I was telling you I got a speeding ticket, and I had a headache or something like that. It was because I was driving and I wasn't really like paying attention to the speed or whatever. And it was one of those speed traps. Like they were kind of sitting there too, and it went from like an 80 to a 60, and I was probably going 70 something, 79 or whatever, 77, and then they stopped me, and they're like, oh yeah, you're going like 77. And I was just like, okay, like my head was killing me or whatever. And then I came and told you. It was like the same day. I came and told you this. It was at church, at Bill's church. And then, like after we had this conversation, and you said something like, "You gotta be careful, blah blah blah," and then you walked away. And Grandpa came up to me, like he's like, "Yeah, I was just listening to your conversation. You're telling your mom your head was hurting you. Could we guess? We could drink some tea." I was like, I was like, of course, like everything's gas. Everything is gas. Gas is the culprit.
I can tell you that I actually agree to an extent, and let me tell you what.
Because he said the gas travels up and goes to your head. That's what he said that time.
No, all right. So you're probably gonna say this is really good. One time, my eye was hurting, right?
Why you farted in your dress?
And I rub it,
Oh.
and it was hurting, and I rub it, and yeah, I hurt it, and then it stopped.
Was not expecting. You said I thought you were gonna tell me some bubble or like some air released from your eye, but you said you're rubbing your eyes and you farted.
It's true.
Oh my gosh.
It's true. It's true. You never know, because sometimes we don't know what causes a lot of things like headaches and stuff. Like for me, if I don't use the washroom enough or on time, I'll get a headache. So I'm very, very intentional in making sure that certain things I deal with, especially in the first part of the day. I remember talking to someone recently, and they said, they make sure they don't eat unless they go. They make sure that's out the way, And once that's out the way, now we can eat. So, they do that. And I said, I thought I was the only one. Yeah. Somebody said that recently. And I said, okay, so I'm not different. I'm not unique or special or anything. I'm just normal.
So you're definitely unique.
In terms of,
General.
what do you mean? That you didn't ever see another person like you before? What do you mean?
Well, it's like how you are.
How am I unique?
I don't know, just like how do you do things sometimes, or like I don't know.
For example?
Like that kind of stuff. Like yes, you met someone who does the same thing, whatever. But like I think that's a very small amount of like or percentage of people that do that or like have that approach.
Oh, to life. In
Or,
general.
yeah, like yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm very practical, I guess. And I think outside of the box in a sense where some people would think within the square. I'm always thinking what's the possibility outside of that. Or I'll look up things to see correlations of stuff to find out whether there's a relationship between what I'm experiencing and what maybe someone else. And obviously, I don't think I'm the only person like that, but yeah. For the most part, I don't mind being unique. I remember one time Christine said to me, you will be the type of person that will die on the hill, even if you are by yourself. And nobody else is saying or agreeing with you, you'll be okay with that. I'm like, yeah. I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem being different. I think I enjoy being different. So one time somebody said, when I mentioned this to someone, they said, oh, you're putting yourself on a pedestal, making yourself seem better. I'm saying, I'm not trying to do anything. I just don't want to be like anybody else. I don't want to follow somebody. I feel like I'm a trendsetter to a point because the combination of all the things that I do or who I am, it's not a typical person. Like I'm not thinking about what somebody else does. I'm just thinking about what I want to do. Yeah, I know that. Some people, like even people my age, they would never be called being on a motorcycle, let alone, well, in one of our other videos, I talk about it, let alone take a nap. And I do. I take a nap while I'm on the back of the motorcycle. Because it's like just a straight drive, right? I'm like, and then Mark was talking to me and I didn't hear him. He's like, sweetie. And I'm like, then I wake up. And then he's like, it's okay. I was pointing something up to you. And I just realized you were sleeping. But I didn't, obviously. And the funny thing is, I didn't know how. Like when some people sleep, they'll be like sleeping and then they're like, I don't do that. I just sleep.
I just do this.
You can just sit down and do that?
Yeah, you just do this.
I don't think I could fall asleep. I'd have to like lean on something or lie down.
I do sleep like this. I do it in the plane, especially if there's two strangers on the other side. I'm not trying to lean on anybody. I'll just be like, or hopefully if I get one of those neck brace things and you can just like, kind of lean back.
And you don't move, you don't go to the side.
Yeah, I mean you could.
No, but do you do that by default? Do you move to any of the sides? Like while you sleep? Does that happen to you?
Like actually? Like when I sleep in bed or do you
No. Like say if you're on the plane.
Oh, no. I think I'm pretty good at staying still when I'm sleeping.
Wow.
Like perfectly still. I can even do that. If I'm really determined, which I've been in the past, like one time, I knew, okay, I did my hair one day. This is really funny. I did my hair one day and I liked it so much, how it looked.
I know where it's going.
And I was going to bed and I was like, man, like I need to do this exactly the same tomorrow because I have a big day or something. I was like, what if I just sleep upright in my bed? Like how they did back in the day. Because I remember visiting Pioneer Village with my class and they showed us the beds and the beds were so short. And we were looking at the beds like no one could fit in that. And then the tour person was like, "You may be wondering why these beds are so like small. It's because people sat sitting up.
Really?
Yeah, they slept sitting up." And I was like, weird. But then this random information was like came back to my head, and I was like, wait, if I sleep like that tonight, my hair won't get messed up. So I was like, okay. So I went to my room, got my pillows, put them behind me, and I just sat like this and slept like that the whole night. Woke up, my hair was intact. I was like,
Wow.
got ready, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't move. I just woke up like this
Kind
too.
of amazing.
No, but you know what though? I find as you age, well, as I age anyways, I find that say if I sleep on like in one position, I feel like it's like my body is seized up. So it's like it's cramped. Yeah. Like just like
Like that
this.
you have to move.
I feel like I have to move, and I never used to, but or maybe I didn't realize that I moved while I was sleeping before, and I guess maybe to release myself from one position to the next. But I find that when I sleeping now, it's like my body cramps. It's like circulation is not good. Like so if I do like this, if I try to move, I feel like everything is stiff. So I don't know what it is. It's probably the
Honestly,
age issue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because some people say it's hard even for them when they go to sleep and get up in the morning.
Mhm.
When you reach a certain age, like late 40s going towards 50s, it's like getting out of the bed, you hear everything cracking and stuff, and sometimes it's it's painful a bit, and it takes them a while to kind of get themselves sorted out to get up. I mean, I don't necessarily have that problem because
Are you still exercising?
I'm gonna start again.
Okay.
I've been slacking off.
I think that'll make a difference. But also, I think age is just a thing. I'm noticing things like that at certain points.
What do you mean?
Seizing. The movies.
Which one?
Went to the movies one time. So, okay, basically, my point is, I think age is a factor, but also lack of exercise. Because I haven't really been, like, doing things like how I used to. But anyway, I went to the movies one time. I was watching this movie by myself. And I sat down like this. So my leg was like crossed over, right? So I was just sitting there watching the whole movie like that. And then by the end of the movie, this leg that was like this.
Go ahead. This way.
You're
You're talking the whole time.
Okay, anyway, it's just now it's weird. Anyway, so this leg that was like over this one, you would think which leg would make sense to her? The one that's like has something on it, right?
Okay.
Like more weight or I don't know. But this one, it was so like.
So you
stiff.
crossed your legs.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was so stiff. This knee, I literally was limping out of the theater, Mom. There was teenagers behind me. I never felt so old in my life. I got up. I literally was like, it was one of those like, oops, it was like, and then I'm like walking up like this, as if like I got in an accident. Like I was walking up like that, literally, and I'm like, and then on top of that, it was a 3D movie, I think, and I had the 3D glasses on my face, and I took those off. I was like. It's like blind. I felt like I was blind. I was leaving the movie theater and it was so bright. So I'm like, I looked very strange. Like I was like this and limping. Imagine like
People are wondering what's wrong
young
with
guy.
you.
You're like, what's wrong with this guy?
Do you remember also when we went to the movies and your foot hurt? You were also limping, remember?
What should it be?
When was it? When your like foot was hurting,
Probably.
you were limping again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Just yeah. So to my point, I think like
As they age.
and as you either increase or decrease exercise, I think that.
Yeah, I was thinking because when I look at people who are like they're doing a lot of workouts and stuff, like they're even as they get older, they actually they don't seem to have those problems, like because and Mark always says it too. like if you stop using the muscles, it seizes up,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you have to keep moving all the muscles. Like,
Just like
I mean, we tend to move the upper body a lot. Somebody said something like you can. Oh yes, I heard like certain pressures on your heel, like the sole of your feet, will be more dominant based on the parts of your body that you're using more. So if you use more of the upper part of your body, then
oh, like
so there's a pressure point on the sole of your feet
based on that.
based on where you move your
Yeah,
body more.
okay.
And if you move your lower part of your body,
Mhm.
then you will see the pressure point on that part of the sole of your feet. So I mean I can't remember who told me that, but that's what I was told. But it's interesting how people come up with certain observations and stuff. Yeah. As I said, it was going to be running late, but this is.
What is he doing? Taking the bus or something?
I think so. Well, you guys were coming from more just straight down, so it would not be the same.
Do you usually go to the gym to exercise, or do you stay at
I've done gym and I've done home, but I prefer home.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable at home. I go to the gym because Mark goes, but not because I'm comfortable. I'm still learning to be comfortable with stuff like that.
Yeah. Alrighty. I like home too. I have a gym in my condo,
Oh,
but I like to stay in my unit
okay.
usually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like if you have like a gym or something that you can do,
Yeah.
you can go to. And even at my workplace, we have no. We have the opportunity to like the insurance. You can claim what is called
Membership.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen that? Like
Yeah, for that whole, I had that.
yeah, it's
They
called
covered
lifestyle
the
benefits.
whole thing.
Really?
The whole thing. The benefits at Apple were second to none that I've seen. Even rivaling the government benefits, which are obviously amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Because the government benefits give you good benefits in general and good coverage. But the Apple benefits were, it's like okay coverage, but what they covered was insane. They covered like so many things. Gym membership, dental, obviously, like those given ones. Even down to like shoes, like comfortable footwear. Like, because we would be on the floor a lot, walking around. So like they cover all that stuff. You know, yearly, like annual, like budget for all that stuff. I wanted to buy a gym bag or
Oh,
backpack.
you cover it. Wow, that's amazing. Something of the work that my teacher.
Even education, tuition, all covered for that. Your work had that, right?
Mhm. But most of the time, when you're getting coverage for school, it has to be related to what, like
What-
your
wait,
education has
Did
to be
tabs
related.
cover yours though? Did tab cover yours?
Yeah. No, not that.
But before that,
Yeah. 72.
all these variables.
It depends. I've done hours of it before, like maybe a couple hours. But once I put that in, it should, because we have the thing under here.
Nice.
Convenient.
Yeah,
You think you're still good at Scrabble?
that's a very good point. You know what? When you told me that Quentin is good at Scrabble, I was thinking about it and I said the last time I let my guards down and Isaac beat me. is never, nobody has ever,
Mm.
not
Not
even,
even me.
not even Daniel, but you see, I let my guard down. And we were playing with Mark, me,
He's a
Isaac,
good team today.
me, Isaac.
Isaac's good.
Yes.
He's very good.
No, but the thing is, Isaac is very
He knows like
words.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not even like because there's two things I think in Scrabble.
It's good to use what you have
Yeah.
and also maximize on the board.
Right, and so Courtney can do that really well. She has good words, but she's also really really good. I noticed at like placing where the words are to maximize the points. Like she'll put down like 3 letters and get like 30 points. I'm like, okay, I'm not really good at that to be honest.
Really?
I'm more good at like putting down a strong word, but like sometimes I won't get a lot of points for it.
Yeah.
Like the word is
There's a lot
good.
of 1 point.
But you have to see, that's the thing. It's a strategy.
Yeah,
But
but
I've never really
Isaac is
spoken
also
about my
is
strategy.
the same. I think Isaac's the same. Like he'll be putting down some solid words, maybe better than the words I can put down. But I don't know how good he is at like maximizing it. If he's good at that, then he has a good chance of winning because he knows like a lot. Like he is a word person.
I'm not that. I'm like decent. I just the 2-letter words are where I really maximize points. I try to get 2-letter words.
She did a word in her last game. She got 80 something points.
Because I use the letters.
She did a whole 7-letter thing.
Yeah.
Plus, 7 plus 1, so 8 in total. So the word was like 30. No, it was
It was on triple. It was like
30 something.
Yeah, 30 something.
Plus 50 because you used it all. I was like, what?
So one of the things that I have done is in the past, and what kind of helped me to actually know what I'm doing, and I understand the 2-part strategy. So it's not just knowing the words, but it's how to place. But what helped me is when I was doing crossword puzzles. And the crossword puzzles are like difficult ones, not the ones where you can go back and look for, because you know how you have a book with the puzzles and you can look at the back, right, with the answers.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to see the back, or it wasn't like a book per se. It was like in a newspaper, right? So you don't get to see the answers till the next day or whatever. So what I would do, I would challenge myself to finish as much as I can, and then the next day I would see where I went wrong or whatever the case may be. And over time, they kind of, not that they're gonna do the same exact thing all the time, but they kind of use the same words.
Formula.
No, they repeat
Words?
some of the same words over time, like especially the small words, right? The small letter words. So those words, I master those because I'm like, okay, I know what that is. I know what that is. And those are not the typical words that people use when they're speaking, right? I think that's Isaac. Isaac. Cheers.
Support. Can't pull back. What?
Just what's pink.
No, it's not. So that's sorry. So how is that sorry? Like, what is it like?
It's my dad's friend gifted him 2 big bottles, and then he gave one for Christmas gift. So we just
Oh
brought it.
wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So I don't know. See how it is. I tried some of the other bottles. It was pretty good.
Okay. Let's see. Did you find out where Isaac is? Because it's kind of, he says I'm running a little. I'm gonna be a little behind, but it's almost an hour. That's kind of.
Isaac said he's here in 3 minutes. Isaac said he's here in 3 minutes.
How did he?
He's texting me.
Okay. So he couldn't answer. What is he in? part in that case I could get some stuff ready. I don't know if it's gonna be on. Oh, no problem. So I'll just put it here. Okay, so we have one, I was thinking to eat here or what do you think?
Sure.
Because we never got to eat there.
How many bananas do you eat?
Huh?
How many bananas do you eat per day?
Sometimes I would eat like 3. I've done 3 a lot of times.
A lot of bananas.
Do you eat them with anything or just by themselves?
Oh, I eat sometimes a whole plate of fruits. So banana and like a whole bunch of stuff, yeah. I think maybe this was not the right thing, but anyway, that's fine.
It opens up like a window.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's not. I think that's like a toy. Or like a package.
The other thing that he got was like a square kind of thing. It's cool colors.
Wait, Mom, these are real.
Yeah. They're not fake.
No.
Oh yeah, they exist.
Well, you know why he got me that?
No.
Because they
You
are
missed dearly. What were you missing?
when I went to Jamaica.
Oh.
That's so nice.
And it's basically because of the tropical colors from Jamaica, so he kind of just gave me something like that for that purpose.
That's very nice. Very sweet.
It's romantic like that.
Do you know where you got these?
I think.
No, sorry, the mug.
Huh?
This mug.
Say that again.
This mug.
Funny. I don't know where he did, but I did up north. This lady was selling them, and I got it from her. But outside of that, I don't know where he did.
Because these are really nice.
Really?
Whatever material this is,
It's like clay, maybe.
yeah, it really stays hot. It's very nice.
It's called multi-tint.
Oh.
In case you're
Okay, so that like that. Hi, Isaac. How is it going? Hi. Is it raining? You're on the west side.
So Like.
Is this ours? Is there?
No, it's just patches and.
The last time you saw it.
Yesterday.
What? Yesterday? Wow, lucky you.
I made some.
He makes straw?
Yeah, he made it.
Is it good?
It was good, yeah. He put rum in it.
So where's your dad live? Sorry? Where's your dad live?
Curtis.
You know where it is? The north side, south side, like east, west.
Probably east, because, like, there's not much housing. This is a new house. Far east.
Wow.
So, I don't know, closer to Broken Hill.
What's your address?
11 Malone Lane.
Malone?
Yeah, M-A-L-O-N-E. What is this?
Church again.
Clarington?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. What is Clarington?
It's a city, like a sort of 20 minutes from me.
20 minutes?
From where I live.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Ajax. The last time you played Scrabble.
The last time I played Scrabble was when I beat Mom.
No, but the last time you played?
Yes.
Wow.
We're playing again today.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Okay. I like that.
Do you feel that you're good at spelling good words or placing them in good places, or both?
Man, you know,
Like, what's your strategy?
the strategy is do what I gotta do. You know, when I do what I gotta do, I get done things, and you know, it just works out. I don't know. Like, I wasn't. When I was playing against you, was I like?
No, I think he just. I
Mom
don't
said you got lucky. She said that she let her guard down and you won. That's what she said.
I kind of did though, because I said I never expected anybody to beat me.
Yeah, I wasn't like beating you by a lot of points either.
It was very close.
You were ahead most of the time.
Yeah. Because I don't tell anybody my secret.
Wow.
What's your secret?
That's the point.
Oh my god.
So wait, so what happened to your secret when you went against me?
Well, that's the thing. I let my guard down. That's what I said.
Oh, you forgot to use your secret?
Maybe you didn't want to say that.
Well, you did, but
No, I did not. I wasn't paying
I have
attention.
a secret too, Mom.
What is it?
I can't tell you. Secret.
Oh my
See, that's what happens when people are competitive.
Wait, so is like a new brand Scrabble game?
No, it's the same, but it just has a turntable, so you can turn it. Yeah. So you don't have to look up and down.
See, that's also not cool. I have
It's
my.
not cool. Mom, what? You know how many new words exist now compared to the old Scrabble dictionary that you had?
Yeah, like
You can't go based on that anymore.
skibbity is a real word.
What?
But it's not in the Scrabble dictionary.
Yeah, it is.
Which one?
No, it's not.
Skibbity.
It's not gonna be in the Scrabble.
Yeah, yeah.
Look.
Trust me. Danny, it was in the 2024 dictionary. Mm-hmm.
Smurf is not a word.
Smurf?
Yes. Not a word.
What?
It's not a word.
Smurf is not a word in the dictionary, in the Scrabble dictionary.
So what is it considered slang?
I guess so.
Yeah, look, okay, look. Scrabble word finder. Skibbity. Look.
Skibbity.
Yeah. Skibbity, right?
Yeah, I wasn't.
Not a playable word.
Yeah, not a playable word.
No, look. So if you use this,
Given these letters, it will give you playable words that you can use.
These are the two letter words that you can use and then place them together to get skibbity.
No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
I'm excited. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm good.
But I like this though. Given your letters.
Yeah.
If
this
you
is
want
what-
to practice
this is fun, yeah.
for some reason, you can just find words.
Yeah. It used to be my
This is
other
a nice
band,
class.
so,
This
well, that's exactly but a word that has to make my
is your class.
It was in the thing over there.
I feel like a bunch of alcohol with fruits. And then make like a punch. And use this as the
Wait, yo, so we can own this ladle thing for like my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that exact same one.
It's Jerry.
You said Jerry?
You named it?
Oh, you got that ladle.
No, Larry. Larry the ladle.
Oh.
You had this ladle.
Do you name it?
No, I'm playing.
We had it for like 20 years.
This one too. That one too.
No.
Yeah. Wait,
Okay,
no,
not
no,
20
no.
How long?
Oh, that's Mark's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one. But we have one like that from like this same brand, right?
Sure, it's here.
No,
No.
probably
You got rid of
gone
that?
now.
What?
I think Loki that one
No,
died.
in the other one over there we have it.
Oh, here we go. Here it is. I thought it died. I knew it died. I was like, something happened to it. Here's this other one. Look at this. Damn it. You remember this?
No, this one. There's another one.
This? Oh my gosh. He's been through it. Why is it burnt? Like, what happens here? Like,
This is grandpa.
no, we had that. All these knives, too. Like this. We've had this for forever. Like, for the longest time, we never used this.
Do you have the
We've had this for forever with this burn. Like, this burn has been on it for like at least 20 years.
Yeah?
where's like the big knife?
Which one?
It's
That is like a,
No, the butcher knife.
well, that one.
Wow.
Yeah. We never use this.
Just there.
And it's so dull. Like, what is this cutting? You see the ends?
Yeah.
It's not even sharp. Like, I literally just run my finger along. Like, you'd have to be like, yeah.
I'm just gonna put this on here because it's kind of hot, but.
Whose camera is this?
Huh?
Oh, this is your GoPro.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Let's try it.
You record. Oh, I thought you recorded.
Okay. Can you go just kind of see my dad and then just tell him. Did you see it? Yeah. Like that. Just tell him, ask him if he's ready to come upstairs. Oh, glasses.
So nice. It's a little cup. Not just but no, not too long. I'll keep that. What I need.
Reminds me of the cuffs on your turtle ones. I love it.
Wow. I have no in my closet. I don't want to just fold them.
Yeah.
They're just there in the closet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so small.
It is. This is so weird. That one's better. Maybe too close.
Oh.
Hmm?
It's your hand. I'm not gonna do anything.
No,
I'm just looking
because-
at the size of your pinky now. I just thought hers was small. I think yours might be the same
Yeah,
size.
pretty similar.
But you know, because my finger is bent, so I was like
Oh.
Honestly, mine's not wrong for this.
a little
Oh, yeah.
bent that way.
Not like yours, but yeah.
Yeah, mine is like my mom's.
Mine is kind of bent this way too, though, like a little bit.
Yeah, you got that from me a little bit. I don't think anybody else had
Remember my
that.
dad's hand?
Huh?
Remember my dad's hand?
I don't know what it looks like.
Do you remember? It's like round.
Oh yes. It's like a deformity or something.
Yeah. I don't know, like my ring fingers, my fourth fingers kind of look like his.
You think?
Not exactly. Not his are like literally round. Those are like here and here on all of them.
This is beautiful. Actually, you know what I like? I like coming here to eat because of the glass and the
light.
lights and the everything.
Maybe we can make it like
Yeah, put it.
Ooh,
That's nice.
that's very nice.
like theme.
Yeah, that's really nice.
We could also do this too,
Yeah.
just to make it less
Dark.
orange. Yeah. How's the lighting on your thing though? Is it good?
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. I think this is nice. This is nice.
It's very nice, yeah. Very nice.
USB too.
Just these two.
What's good though? I was just saying, you said oh, test.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if it doesn't charge when. Oh well. As I was saying, is it? Okay, let's see.
Honey.
I didn't think iron. Oh,
There's a moment on there. So, yes. 2 letters, like they're both on.
It's good to know the ones for the big points, like the K, J.
Yeah, those ones are people need to look at more than anything, because we have B, B has a few, G is what, 2? G, I, G, O, that's it. J, we have J, O. That's it.
Yep.
What's K, 5? K is 5. K, I, K, M is 3.
There's a bunch for him. Probably would go to guess with him.
Yeah. Basically every dollar. So, no, okay. And why?
Okay, everything.
Like everything.
And it's good.
Yeah, M is a good one actually. So let's remember. Oh, E. That's interesting. What's D? What? What point?
Oh, that. Yeah, D is 2.
Two. But we have D,
Not too many of the consonants are this one, just like the super common.
Yeah.
S.
P is 3. P, 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 O. R is 1. W is That's my X. We did. I was like, I know it's a Chinese, like, to it. Y is what?
4 or something. So. But how about that should be I mean, if you take reasonable times, and return it to
But I think we'll have a good amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm sure like you're looking at the board, obviously it's going to change, but like the times to plan. Yeah. It's just a matter of like establishing goals. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Coming up with your strategy.
Kind of make.
It's gonna be a team.
No,
I think we should take one individual.
team Scrabble. How do you do team Scrabble?
Well,
Well,
you
our
could just,
points
like,
versus
you can
your
have one trade.
Honestly,
You want to? I mean, we could.
No,
we could do very strong.
individual.
We would be very strong, I think.
No, and so could me and Isaac too.
Yeah, I think so.
So
That would be
Probably good.
Hey, if
good
we get
match.
through like a free-for-all game quick, I think we could do a
A
team
team
game.
game?
I've never seen that before. That people do.
I've never seen either, but it would be really cool.
Let's try that.
I think we could like
It could
all
be
that.
fun.
You think you could take us down?
Mhm.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Interesting. You see, this is the thing when people challenge me, right? It's not a good thing.
Because you're confident.
Huh?
Because you're confident in the word.
Because I'm competitive that way.
Well,
I put my A game on. This was getting cold. Why is it taking so long? I thought he was gonna get my nephew. It was cold.
Dude, it's a Christmas.
I thought you were getting my dad to come downstairs. He's not coming? Oh my gosh. Okay, bye. He got distracted.
Scrabble's probably showing.
Yeah. I can imagine. Do you remember this? This is the, so we can choose. I kind of did. Okay, so that's this is balsamic vinegar, and then I'm just gonna take out the olive oil. Yeah, olive oil. So if you need more balsamic vinegar, we can keep up more. I think this might be olive oil. Or this. This is herbs infused. Okay, so we have that. Or somebody just want olive oil. Yeah, someone gave this to me, this student. Oh, you're black. The camera.
Oh, the camera. Please, the camera. Oops.
Yeah. So what happened is this student, I was teaching her, she gave this to me.
What is that called?
Huh? Yeah. It's up to you. You can sit over there, Dad, if you want. You can sit over there if you want. In the corner, right here. Yeah. And I think you can sit there. Or I can sit here. Okay. All right. Who wants to bless the food?
Yeah, man.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
I still looking and down, man. Give me a break. Right.
Go ahead, Adam.
Go ahead, man.
Dear God, thank you for bringing us here today and allowing us all to reach here safely. I pray that you'll continue to watch over us and hope and bless this moment where we're all gathered today. It will be a blessing and an enjoyable time for us all. And I pray, Lord, that you also bless the food today. I pray, Lord, that it will be good and yummy for our body. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Are you okay? Okay. All right.
The man, okay, go breathe.
I just wasn't expecting that.
Okay, so we can go.
I don't fry that. I shall fry that to the man.
Yeah.
Okay, we could go around and pick up what we want,
Okay.
or we could sit down and pass it along. Which one do you want?
You can just go ahead.
Okay,
You just pick up our plate.
okay, so, yeah, just get what you want.
Okay. I don't know, like, where you're pressing.
I don't know yet. Wait, you don't have to sit there.
No.
Okay.
You see where you sit here? Yeah, I don't know, that's not.
It's not conducive, that's why I don't.
What does that mean?
It's like, yeah, I know.
What does it mean?
You said?
So Josh, give that a wide circle.
I don't know what it means.
Okay, so that, this,
You're pretty smart.
where's the plate? I'll give you the big one, because you can't do anything else.
That one's good. I'm confused.
Okay, this is, where's your fork? Hmm?
We can't get that one.
Anything?
Sure, let me take a spoon.
It's okay. Anything? Okay, so this is. It's paper, it's paper. Do you like fish, Courtney?
Yes.
Okay. So, Isaac, you like fish? Okay, so you could share this one with me. Here,
Is that a head?
no, it's not.
Oh.
And then Courtney.
Well,
You can have it then.
I mean, I have the face?
No,
I can eat the face.
I'm giving this one.
You want to eat the face?
No, that's for you, Courtney.
Yeah, eyeball. Just the
Isn't this
eyeball.
a face?
No, that's a whole fish.
That's what I mean. Isn't the face over here? You don't want the face, right? You want the back half?
You can take it.
No, the whole fish you can have. Each of
You mean
them.
the fish?
Yeah,
Oh.
Jesus. Damn.
Wait, what?
you can
Isn't
have.
Grandma having fish?
He already got. I gave him the big one.
Oh, well.
I just want the whole one.
Oh, it's also-
No, everybody's getting.
You want to see something? Like
I
fish?
should have taken care of this before. Huh? Yeah, put some if you want. No, this is my dad's.
Oh, we're not allowed to take it?
No, pass it on. So where are you sitting? You sitting right here? That's my dad's.
That's pretty good.
Because your knife is here, and I already used.
I don't know where my knife is.
It's kind of darkish.
Uh, brighten it up. I haven't had such a big fish. So,
In the whole one.
I guess I am.
Wow.
Sorry, guys, I should have taken out the chicken out faster. It wasn't there too. If it was one, Chunk. What's it called?
Where's the word?
Chunkin.
Is it red or?
White.
Oh, okay. Huh? What?
You want it on there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I thought you wanted it on there. This is sorrel.
Oh, I can have it separately.
You want some sorrel, Michael?
I can have it separately.
Sorrel?
I don't
Sorry.
really know what it is.
Yeah. Thanks.
Is this
Yeah. What's it called?
Thank you. Isaac, I was thinking, you see, like when I come back to Scarborough, when I go back to Scarborough,
yeah.
if you could come around here where I'm going,
Sure.
then I will drop you. I will drop you back home. You know,
Oh, yeah. That covered.
I'm not this weekend coming because they're gonna have fasting this weekend coming.
No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be moving into there until February as well.
Eh?
I wouldn't be moving into there until February.
Okay.
But after that, sure. Yeah. And get Scarborough now. Alright. Because I work in Scarborough, so I'm gonna be moving to this.
Where do you work?
Where? In Scarborough. Like there. The place. Oh, what's the name of the company? Fortress Technology. I used to work there when I was doing training.
When you're what?
When I was doing
If I get on
training.
cook with pepper, Michelle. Pepper.
What happened?
You don't cook with pepper.
Yeah, but I didn't overwhelm it. So you can add the pepper if you want, like hot pepper sauce or something. I put jerk seasoning on the fish.
But fish need pepper. Oh, is that right? I have pepper on the fish. This fish.
Not everybody can handle pepper.
No, when you cook the fish, and you buy the chops, or some hot peppery fish. Most people are like Italians. And Leroy ate the fish and he was crying.
Why did I cook? Why did I make cook it? Why did I cook that time? I don't remember.
You say why?
What was the occasion?
Oh, I don't know. Probably something like Thanksgiving or whatever. You guys are like a potluck kind of thing. Everyone brought something. You brought fish. So I was so concerned. It's spicy. I thought it was spicy. And I'm like, these people don't even know what spicy is.
Can you handle spicy?
Yeah. But like,
So like, wait.
not digestion wise. But yes.
Okay. Can you handle? When it comes to osmos, you have osmos.
Same thing.
What do you mean same thing?
Eating it is fine.
Right.
But after the fact, like, I'm gonna be in pain.
So what level of spice can you handle?
Like, the max.
The max?
But I know the more max I go, the closer to the highest. I'm just asking for more trouble. More
Suffering. Some more suffering. More battles. More battles.
yeah, more tribulations.
You know.
I'm gonna have to book off the next 3 days.
Next few days. Calm and stuff.
I've done that. I literally have to do that sometimes.
For 3 days.
Like max, I think that's the most I ever did. Like I ate the thing.
I feel like pushing it after 1 day is too much. Like, why do you need?
And I'm in pain. I can't like function. Like day 1 is usually the worst. Then day 2 it's like still pretty bad. Day 3, I'm probably fine, but I need access like to a washroom. You know? day 1 and 2, I'm not able to move
Do you notice something?
my
People,
bed fetal position.
people choose to talk about washroom drain.
Oh. No, we're not being
Graphic?
Descriptive. Yeah, we were being very coded.
yeah.
We were talking about pain. I didn't even bring up washroom until the end.
No, but it said 3 days.
Most of that's in my bed. I didn't even bring up the toilet or anything.
Oh.
Now I moved up. I learned though, when I'm on the keto diet, I can handle spice better.
You know, this is natural. This is natural. What's it called now?
Green.
Chickpeas.
Let's put in here.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It has a lot of protein in it.
It's good.
Where is your manufactured, Michelle? Where does it come from?
Sorry,
Sorry.
I brought it.
Oh, you?
It's my dad's friend's. My dad's friend made it.
Okay. Made it from where that son is?
He's Trinidadian. I don't know.
Trinidad. Oh. That's why I asked. Because these things don't grow in cold countries. And it come and you have to reap it in like November, December. That's when it comes to fruition.
It's good.
Yeah, it's less ginger, but I like mine. Basically.
Yeah.
But it's also like good. It's not too sweet. Sometimes sorrow that I am is very sweet, which is not bad. But I don't like it too sweet.
I think it's good too.
Dad, the fridge is open.
Carcass. What's a carcass? Huh? What's a carcass?
What is a carcass? An empty shell of a body.
Dad, you can't hear high pitch sounds, right? Mm-hmm. We can't hear high pitched sounds because you know why I'm saying that? Because I heard the sound, that's why I knew it was open. It went. No. Did you hear?
That is not an average. I was blocked off from this side. I'm listening what's happening on here.
No, but you can't hear it either. Even when you're in
Well, maybe.
yeah, because you know they call what they call it again? The sound, the measurement of sound. Deci something. What's it called? Decibel. Decibel.
That's more of a frequency thing.
Yeah. So it's like the older you get, like the high pitched sounds, you can't hear it.
The
The
range,
younger kids can hear it.
the range of your frequency.
Can you hear this?
No, can you?
Yeah.
I know that.
Only we can. Just put them on.
Only I said to do something like that.
Did you listen?
You hear it? You hear it?
Can you handle spice?
Good. Oh.
Is it chicken or fish spicy?
What kind of fish is this, Michelle?
Chicken or fish?
I'm sorry?
What kind of fish is it?
I don't know.
It's not snapper.
This no, but I didn't get it.
Snapper has a different shape. That's why I'm asking.
I think it's maybe bass.
I used to fish bass.
Mm-hmm. It's bass.
I used to fish bass.
Oh.
At like different places, different lakes.
Did you eat the salad?
I didn't like clean it myself. Like I would just like catch it and bring it to someone.
Well, it's not.
I had to stay tuned. And it was so nice and spicy. It had jerk season on it.
The chicken?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been too long. So I'm mad at myself.
How long is it for?
An hour and a half, it was already done. I should have taken it off, but because I didn't want it to get cold,
An hour and a half. What to be sure?
you sent it time.
You should be fine.
I thought you were gonna say a low one for an hour and a half. I thought you were gonna say a slow cook.
Maybe I should have done teaching time. Because when Mark was like, but what happened is it's sustained the heat. Because it keeps the last temperature that it was at. So you don't want to do it for an hour. So that was a problem.
Okay, you're doing psychology, right? Eventually. What are you doing now? Music production. What do you use for music production?
Wait a minute, software?
Yeah. That's what else.
Logic?
Why that's what you told me? Pro?
It's basically GarageBand, but for premium.
Hmm?
It's basically GarageBand, but premium.
You ever heard of soundtrack?
Soundtrack?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It isn't that,
I'm sure what is that?
but for music.
That's my GoPro.
What?
My GoPro.
What? So
I'm
what
sure
you
doing music production.
It's my camera.
camera? That's what I'm gonna ask. What is it like a camera?
It's small. That's what
Oh,
I
he's the one that they use one there right in the back. Okay.
Psychology.
I don't think I know psychology.
Oh, I thought
Like, I know some things about psychology.
you did in high school, right?
There are maybe
You did in high school, right?
philosophy.
You didn't do psychology now? How did you get a choice for? Yeah.
Philosophy.
No, I think you did psychology in high school.
I did it when I was in grade 10. In grade 11, I did philosophy.
Psychology?
Yeah, we did,
In grade 10?
I didn't know, I believe so. No, because we had, the mixed class. It was anthropology, psychology, and sociology.
Wow, I didn't do that one.
You never had that?
I never did that one.
It was like, everyone did it in high school, basically. It was something that everyone took.
You could choose.
It was kind of, we didn't really have much choices in grade 10 for social sciences, so that was like something that
I forget which one I did in grade 10. I didn't do that one though.
I did it and I switched out. It was more.
What did you do after?
I
You probably did what I did. I don't know what it was.
did philosophy for sure. I know
In
I
grade
did.
10, 12.
No, before that. Maybe I switched to philosophy.
Wait, maybe.
Because I know I did join the class, but like, yeah, I probably did.
Philosophy was great. Who did you have?
There was this guy who had like a broken leg, kind of a bit round. Weird.
The guy was running?
And yeah, he had like this little, like his leg was kind of, I don't know. Yeah, he walks.
Oh.
I forget. I know like something happened to his leg, so then he kind of like goes like that.
My teacher was
Miss Divish? Does she even know? She never even.
Do you know who that is?
Teach me. Yeah, it's a lady who didn't teach me anything, and like, what was it? Didn't teach what to religions class.
Okay, I don't know if she's good in religion, but she was good in philosophy.
Just sat there, and then for some reason they asked me. I was getting a 30% in her religious class, and then I didn't do my exam, and then she asked me for 30. I don't think so.
You think you didn't deserve it?
No, of course not. I mean, it was nice to her.
Nice girl.
She did. Philosophy is better than psychology, in my opinion.
Which one?
Philosophy is better than psychology.
In my opinion. I mean, I find it more interesting than psychology. They're related.
I think at the time I found philosophy more interesting than I found psychology more interesting.
Sorry?
At the time in high school, I found philosophy more interesting, but now I found psychology more interesting. Because I don't know, at a certain point, I think I was quite interested in like debates, like that kind of thing, arguments.
In philosophy?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
Not debating, but more so like reasoning.
Okay.
That more than anything. But then I got more interested in like how people think, not necessarily reasoning, but I guess kind of related to that.
Yeah.
My high school had a law class, and it was like a mix of both. It was a mix of some philosophy influence and also psychology part of it. Criminal law, things like that. It was good.
Overtaking that class. Sure.
You took that. You enjoyed it.
Our high school had more choices for classes.
Is it a typical thing to have the classes in terms of what you guys got a chance to choose from? Like, is it like, are there other high schools that have more options?
Usually, yeah.
Yep.
Hardly had a limited choice compared to a lot of other average high schools.
Why is that?
I would hear about
Honestly, I think the high schools were. I just think the art schools. I think that's really what it boils down to. They're poor and lazy.
You know what? I checked the GTA high school rating, and I think it was pretty low, man. It was like 2 stars or something, man. It was just higher a lot.
I mean, the wrong high school. Hardly was that.
Our rates are low.
They had good teachers. I don't lie. Hardly
Yeah,
had good teachers.
They had bad teachers?
Good. Some bad, of course, but I think they had good teachers. That was the only saving grace of the school.
They just need to upgrade, and they didn't have it.
I learned that the school was bad or poor and that kind of thing. When there was a hole in the front.
And they couldn't fix it?
It's there for the whole entire.
But isn't the government, the city responsible for that?
Yeah, but like at the same time, I don't know, like the school, like you know what I'm saying? There's a hole in the wall of the school, and it's winter, and you're losing all this like.
I don't know.
Really?
It just didn't make sense.
Do you feel like,
Nothing like that stayed for so long. But I know someone bust through one of the front door window glasses with thick windows, and they just had a cardboard there for a while. I don't know how long.
Cardboard?
Yeah, they put like a cardboard and taped it on both sides.
and that's a
of the
school?
door.
The school?
Yeah, they have like 2 layers of like entrance doors. So it was the
The
innermost layer.
Oh my gosh.
2 doors. I don't know what someone was doing. I thought, what was it? What did they do?
Maybe the maintenance guy?
No,
Does it a
some,
patchwork?
no, some student was doing something. I think they busted with like a.
Oh, so that was just
hammer
a
or something.
patchwork.
Yeah, they just put that there for a while.
Wow.
The law school in general, I think Heart Lake was very just, I don't know, they did stuff like They didn't have a football team.
Yeah, like,
They didn't. Oh,
Did you have football at your school?
No, we didn't.
Isn't football more like a US thing?
it is.
Than it
Definitely
is
is more
Canada?
of a United States high school.
Yeah.
Like high school football in the States is a whole thing. It's like huge. It's a huge industry. Massive.
Your dad would be proud if you were.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be in football.
Yes. In high school in the States, 100%. But here,
They want the kids to toughen up.
yeah. Like people come, reps, from different colleges. You know what I mean? Like all these people are out here, scouters. Like you're getting like scouted and stuff. Like you're performing well. Get to go to school, like tuition paid for, a scholarship.
Wow.
It's the whole thing. Here, it's like, oh, just grades. Get good grades. Yeah, sports is a thing too, like basketball maybe more so than football here. Track and field, wrestling.
I think in Jamaica, track and field is probably one of the most
Makes sense.
common things for people. Like, you know, basketball not so much, but track and field. If you're in track and field, everybody's like, yeah, you're awesome.
I remember one time I was in Jamaica, and I beat a Jamaican in a race. Ooh. It was when I went there before I went to camp. I remember we were there for the summer for like 2 months. And we raced. We were all, it was me and some people from Brady.
Were you the same age as them?
Younger, sir. I was younger than them, but closer in age than you guys are.
Yeah.
And then we all went to do a race. We lined up and we beat this guy. He's like, no, man, no, again. Race again. And then he beat me. I was tired. I was running in Jordans. You know how big those are?
No,
Those are some big, hefty Jordans.
that's confused.
Yeah.
You should have. Another way to do it is not run with any shoes.
Oh, that's what he was doing. I was like, honestly, he's
Oh,
so
yeah.
smart. Because he was wearing socks.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not trying to run this, like, this
Dirt ground.
yeah, and the who knows when you step on and all that stuff. And they don't care.
Yeah.
He was just like,
Maybe he let his guard down. He probably thought, okay, well.
I think that's what happened. I think low-key the first race I got lucky. I still felt nice.
So I cook the fish in coconut oil. That way it's good oil.
You ever use vinegar oil?
I've never heard that before. What the hell? I said, is there such a thing?
No, I don't know if I said that.
Did you hear what he said, Courtney?
I did, yeah.
Honestly.
Honestly, it could be. I was gonna say
No, I saw Daniel's face. It's like he was like, it's like the brain was turning. Like,
Yeah.
Like, but the way how that Isaac and Joshua are, they'll just say stuff and you believe what they're saying. Because they don't, they have poker face and poker voices. So you don't really know that it's fake.
I see.
So you run along with them and then after you realize you were just wasting
Isaac,
time.
have you ever played poker?
Yeah.
Be good.
No, I played. I never played like my own life. So.
Are you good though?
I don't know. I never really played like in person. Only like online. One game.
I think Joseph would also be good at.
He understands. Well, Joseph's good.
I think he'll be
Yeah.
good at the game functionally, but in
No.
terms of what it takes to actually be successful at the game,
Oh wow, that's so.
no, I'm just saying, like you would do well. You don't even need to be good. I feel like you could just bluff your way to the top. Joseph can't bluff.
Yeah, you can.
No,
You never played him.
Joseph
not
is
as much
good.
as you or Joshua. Joshua
No,
is
Joseph is
okay. I think honestly, you might be able to bluff more than Joshua.
no, but Joseph is good at bluffing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I would say Joseph's good.
Joseph is good. I think you don't
I
know.
played him. We played together.
Poker?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah.
And he won?
Who played? Yeah, but we played just amongst each other. Just
And he won.
or whatever. And he would usually be the winner.
See? Then you don't.
He just goes straight face.
Joseph
Really?
is very strategic. Daniel, you have not played Joseph enough.
I gotta see him.
Even when we used to play racquetball, Joseph is not moving and he's winning.
Then think about how Joseph plays in games.
What's that? He's not moving and still winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just knows what to do. If Joseph did sports, he would be excellent. Because he's very strategic. He always knows how to come up with some strategy. Any game he's playing at.
I hated that.
What was that?
We used to play fighting games. You know how like fighting games have combos? There's a combination of buttons to do some move or whatever. Those are just your using the same move over and over and over and over. And like he'll win sometimes and it would annoy me. Because I'm out here trying to actually do combos. And he's doing this one thing. And sometimes I'll lose him and I'm like, Joseph, stop spamming.
So is that spamming?
Yeah.
Because you're only using one move, but that's his move. So why can't
No, Mom. It's not a move. It's a punch. I'm trying to do a combo, like shoot a fireball, like no, like some extravagant thing. And you just like doing the same thing
punch?
Over and over.
Well, that's his strategy because he knows that if you probably switch fingers to do something else,
You'll get slapped.
exactly.
Well, I guess, and it worked.
So he knows what to do. This is what I'm saying. Whenever Joseph is playing games,
Where's the
he
fun in
always
that?
where's the fun in that?
That's boring. Like if you're watching a
It's
movie,
his
you don't
choice.
see that.
It's his choice. It's just like when we do when we were playing racquetball and stuff. And oh my gosh, Joseph would just be just in one spot and he just does this.
So easy way out, basically.
And you're running all over the place for the ball. And he's just and I'm like, how is he doing that? He's not even breaking a sweat. Remember when you were playing too? And sometimes we used to all take turns playing against each other. Joseph always won, most of the time. You never, were you playing racquetball with us?
You still
I don't do that.
Oh,
like, can you still like keep up? Is like your stamina good?
Yeah.
No.
what about you guys?
No.
I think everybody got lazy.
You use it or you lose it. So you use it or you lose it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I wanna get back in doing stuff again because I think my thing is I find it boring to just go up to like lift some weights. Here we go. All right, pump it. I don't have that. That's kind of weird for me.
Really?
But if I'm dancing or doing something like, where it's a routine, like something is going on, like it's just like walking, I'm going somewhere rather than on a treadmill. I do it, but
Have you tried like a bicycle session in the gym or something?
You mean in the room with all those people and like,
Yeah.
all right, guys.
I've seen some with the screen where you can choose different places to go, and then it's like a simulation where you're biking around in a different.
that would be nice. That would be nice. I don't think
But you
like the simulation would be good.
Yeah.
The simulation because
You was
it's just like if you're like people who are learning to fly planes and stuff, they do the simulation, so it feels real. So when they go in the actual environment, it feels like okay, it's just like being in that
So
situation.
speaking of simulations, our planes. Guess who's a pilot, huh? So guess who's a pilot?
In the simulation,
No, a plane. Like guess who's a pilot? Like a real pilot.
is this a trick question?
No. Like,
Restate the
I
question.
said, speaking of planes,
Mhm.
guess who's a pilot now?
Guess who's a pilot?
Yeah.
Okay. Jamal,
No, Malcolm.
crazy.
are you serious?
It's so crazy.
Wow. Was he really interested in that all along?
I don't know, maybe.
I've never seen that coming. He was more of a, what was he, a drummer or something? Wow.
He's proud of
Mm. He's what, 29, 28? How old is he? He's 2 years younger than you. He always, like, he had that mature personality. Wow. It's so good to, like, get into something that nobody expects you to. But I know that's expensive. That's the, to go to that kind of school. Yeah, it's expensive. It's a lot of money. Because even for like people, but I only know the cost based on those persons who were coming here as international students, and I know it was like 100K, something like that, for international students. But I don't know for like local students. I don't think I checked it out for that. Because some people wanted to do that so that they can, you know, get their PR and stuff. This is really nice. So, but this is not the original bottle, right?
No.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
My dad usually gets it for Christmas from his friend.
Oh wow, it's very. Well, I don't know. It has a taste that it just seems very rich.
Mm.
It's thick. It's not thin. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like if it was any thicker, it would be syrup, but it's not. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Because it had the consistency and the way it tastes. It's not very even transparent. It's not. I'm an expert. Why? Why?
You look like sorrow connoisseur.
A sorrow connoisseur? No, because look at it. Look at the residue in your glass.
Yeah.
After you drink, how many times do you see the residue of sorrow look like that? Hardly. See, look how long it takes to come down. It's very, and look how long it takes to drip down. You know when something is more like water, it just.
Yeah.
The travel time is very quick. Yeah.
I've had it thinner before. I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's not thin at all.
Yeah.
Look at Daniel now trying. Don't you notice it, Daniel? Don't you notice it? It's very thick. It's almost like.
Sorry.
But one thing I noticed though, it has a smell. Like when I sniff it, it smells like wood. Yeah. Like you know, like when you,
What does that mean?
you know, like when you go into the forest.
Birch. No.
Or probably cedar.
Honestly,
Or probably cedar. What?
honestly, I'm gonna just start doing that now.
What?
Anything that resembles some foresty, woody, it like has a very birch-like.
I have an interesting topic, and this interesting topic came up when David was asking why in the Bible
David who? Cousin?
Mashri, son, my sister's son, he's 10 years old. Why in the Bible, Genesis 1, verse 1, why it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth? Why did it say he created? Hi there. Yeah, I'm good. Can I call you back? We're having dinner. Okay. Yeah. So he said, why in the Bible it says in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, why didn't it say he created the heaven and earth? Or no, sorry, why didn't it say he created the universe?
Because the heaven is the universe.
Well, that was one of the things that we were talking about, because remember the earth is in the universe.
Well, I think the heaven.
So we were contemplating. So I said
I was gonna say heavens.
heaven, the
No,
heaven
it was
and the
heaven.
earth.
Oh,
So
but
then,
okay, I think honestly, in my opinion, heaven is referring to the spiritual world, and earth is referring to the physical one, including the universe. That's what I would say. So the physical and spiritual realm was created at the same time.
so would that mean that the angels were created when God says
Yes.
the
In the
angels?
beginning.
Okay, so okay, but then that's a different perspective, because I wasn't expecting that. So now I'm thinking, okay, and the earth was without form and void, but the focus was not
Yeah. So
in the heaven part. It was, the focus was really the earth and the atmosphere surrounding the earth. What my sister was saying, her response to my nephew was that because the focus was humanity, there was no need to talk about the rest of stuff, because that was not the focus. The focus was us on the earth and interaction with God, and obviously God was trying to share himself from the beginning, right? So in that sense, the question still remains why. And then we were also talking about the universe itself, because over time people have been learning more about the universe than they did before, because a lot of things that they thought existed is not. For example, there's so many times that the view or perspective of how everything was placed within the universe. First, they thought that the sun was the center. At one point, they thought the earth was the center, right, of the universe. One time they thought the earth stood still. Another time they thought that the sun stood still. Like, different things happen over time, and then we learn over time that they change based on their new observations, right? And another thing that happened recently is that we thought that there were 9 planets. Now they said it's 8, because Pluto is no longer considered a planet. And then my brother was even chiming on that, because he's also very learned in that area. He was saying that when they look at the characteristics or what the criteria is that would determine what a planet is, then Pluto did not make it. So, which means, regardless of how things have evolved and so on, the point is we're still learning. And then I was even saying that, okay, maybe when Moses wrote the book, right, because he wrote Genesis to Deuteronomy, he was inspired by God to write the book, and whatever was relevant at the time, that was what was mentioned, but there was no relevance about other things. But also, I mean, I'm talking and I'm thinking at the same time. If you go back to Job, in Job, there's a lot of things that were mentioned that you don't even know exist, or you didn't even know existed. But it kind of goes back to whatever God chooses to reveal to us, he reveals. But then some of the things that already exist, or,
But you know, Job was
science.
written chronologically much earlier than how it appears in the
I
Bible.
know, because I do have a Bible that is written in chronological order, and Job is way up there. But the thing is, though, what I'm saying is this: God doesn't really necessarily need to tell us certain things if it does not apply. And even with regards to science, science is still trying to figure out stuff, and most of the things that we're figuring out are in the Bible. However, it's a good point what you made about, the fact that that could be spiritual versus physical.
Because when the Bible refers to heaven, it often talks about the non-physical.
But there are different definitions of heaven, because
That's
heaven
true.
is also
Skies.
when you look up, you see the firmament, you see all that. And then my brother was even saying that, okay, the firmament, because of the color and all that, is based on the gas that is up there. And when depends on how far away you are from the earth, then you see the difference whether what the color is, whether it's white, whether it's blue, and all that is based on perspective, right? So you could also think of the heaven as the sky. And I agree with him too. And the reason is because the firmament, which is that which surrounds earth, because wherever you are, you're looking up. So even though you're looking up, it's part of the galaxy. And the only reason why we're looking up is because gravity causes us to be attached. So, or up is from any direction up from the earth.
Honestly,
So it's just something that is is worth like considering. Like, why did God not say universe? Why did He only say that? And now people are looking at different things with regards to universe. And now, if we didn't, try to figure this out, and if we only relied on the Bible, then we probably wouldn't have noticed, all these different things out there.
I think it really depends on like a number of things, right? Definition, translation, interpretation, intent, context. Because like
That
heaven,
came up too in our conversation.
yeah,
I was checking just a while ago that in the NKJV and the NLT, in different versions, they refer to it as plural. That's right. Heavens. So I'm thinking, why would they refer to it as plural? So there must be like some reason to that.
You know what my brother said?
heavens usually plural refers to like
Different bodies.
like like the universe, let's say.
Oh,
Like everything.
within the.
Yeah, so you say heaven. I think
it's just more the spiritual.
yeah.
That's what it says in the KJV.
Yeah.
My brother was saying that okay, so this is something I never thought of. He was saying that some of the translations are coming from different parts of where the scroll and where the source of where the Bible came from. So for example, King James wrote the authorized version based on his perspective, or based on the people who were interpreting the scripture at the time. Then you have different translations that are, from what I understand now, which I wasn't really aware of, that are coming from Europe, and there's another place too. So I was not aware of that. So I guess, I don't know where he got that information, but it's just interesting how a little bit of observation can kind of like open up your mind and make you start thinking, okay, so why did he say that?
I don't think it would look too
But I feel like the angels were made long time ago though. And maybe there's no, maybe in terms of time, even though it says in the beginning God created heaven and the earth, maybe that was not the first day.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So the fact that it even says heaven and the earth, the heaven was probably made first, and then the earth, and then if you interpret it that way, because like the heaven,
I don't know. Referring to the earth though, like just as the earth.
It could be, but I'm just saying I don't see it that way.
I'm gonna put this stuff in the dishwasher. Okay. So what were you
Well,
saying?
the whole thing, Michelle, the whole thing about the heaven and the earth and the other, everything is put together. It's a mystery,
I agree.
Continuously a mystery as well. For wherever if you're on the South Pole, you're on Antarctica, or if you're up north, the top of Canada, North Pole, you still have to look up to see the sky.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And it's interesting that wherever you are, if you're on the sun, you have to look up to see the other planets. So any one of them, you have to look up to see any one of them. It's not like the sun is here and the moon is here and that sort of thing. They're all, it's a mystery. It's just a mystery. Because wherever you are, even the earth itself, let's just look at the earth alone. How is it that the Nile runs from down in the middle of Africa up to up, in other words, the water is running up. I can't how we look at it. The water is running north, uphill. Water
But
doesn't
it's
run
not,
uphill.
but then because
Most
of
of the rivers
gravity.
run from north to south, but
Oh,
well, not just in Nile, but a number of rivers. And again, too, even as I mentioned in Nile, it's just recently when I was a boy, the Mississippi was the tallest river,
longest.
the longest river, according to. And if you write anything else, you lose your exam, or you lose your marks, and what have you. But now the Nile is hundreds of kilometers tall, longer than the Nile. The Nile take fifth place now in the world. Because even the Amazon is the biggest river, but not the tallest. The Nile is the tallest, longest. So, so it's so many different. Right, the river Ob in Siberia, yeah, yes, it runs north to ends out in uh, the Arctic Ocean, up top. So how is it that the world is run?
It's all elevation.
And the river and the water running from down and going up so.
It's elevation.
And
It's just elevation.
Yeah,
yeah.
because some parts
And
are high.
when you play you see this curvature of the earth, let's say coming from Jamaica, you can see it, the curvature. And if you go in a ship, you can see it too. Because I have been out there with not far out on a big ship, but on fisher boats. And you can't see further than a short distance.
The horizon.
You can't see further than a short distance because the water curves too, everything curves. It's not flat like this table. If it was as flat as this table, then
You'll be able to see way out,
yeah, you could stay here as England or stay Jamaica or whatever.
and that makes sense. And so that's why the argument about flat versus round it's debatable.
And another thing too, another thing, just if you're in a plane,
When I say debatable, means you can debate someone who is saying that the Earth is flat because
I guess from that perspective, I thought you were saying it's debatable. It could go either way. I
no,
was like,
it's
Yeah,
debatable. It's a debatable point.
another thing, if you're in a plane and you stay at a particular distance from the Earth, say about 50,000 meters or feet or whatever it is, and stay at that 50,000 from the Earth. If you go this way, you end up coming back from this way, If you in the plane, if you go and stay same height, same distance from Earth, you end up coming in the opposite direction. It's marvelous. I mean, the whole thing is just mind-boggling. You can't understand it fully because it's not supposed to be so according to our reasoning. Yeah.
Well,
And that's why the globe and the map, they are the same things. But the only thing the map is flat, and you see Europe and Asia and Africa and so on over this side, and you see North and South America over this side. But it's supposed to be round so because if you go east, you're gonna end up coming west. For instance,
so then you just take the.
I always wonder as a youth, I always wonder how is it that a person can take a boat from Cape Town down the bottom of Africa and go the other way and come out in the north. Because the sea, the oceans, and come out on the other side of the world,
So going back to
And that's why if you travel west, and to go around the world, you gain a day. But if you travel east, going around the world, you lose a day.
because of the sun, you're going against the time. But going back to what we were talking about, so my brother was also saying that there is he noticed that well, recently they had this thing where it's a device and you can actually go closer to the sun than you ever could before. You heard about it? Yeah, there was a device that they were able to see like the, I don't know if you said the back of the sun, but it's like you can go closer
I
than
mean, you
before.
can, like anyone.
No, the device. So they were able to see more and probably find
Telescope, you
more.
mean? Or like a
It's like a device that was able, and I would assume that it has the ability to withstand the heat.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a,
it's a satellite.
is it
Yeah.
the James Webb telescope?
I don't know, but it was this bronze satellite thing. So it's
it has gone closer, so they could see more of the characteristics of the sun now than before. So there's a lot of things that are changing, in terms of what man has.
Well, the thing is, I think honestly, the Bible, like you mentioned it earlier briefly, but the Bible has been pretty accurate and all that stuff about certain things that science has like had to catch up to. Where the Bible has, for example, predicted or not predicted, but has given information on like um, the Earth being circular or round. You know, like the Bible literally, I think in King James version talks about the circle of the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
I say, talk about it.
yeah, right? And certain things like that, where it's like the Bible had said that already for a long time, and then science believed one thing, but then they're like, oh, actually, science now tells us the Earth is round. Okay, well, yes, we do that already. The Bible kind of like.
Next to the Bible doesn't give you details, just give you the big issues.
But on that note, I think similar to like the whole end the beginning thing, I think two things. I think you could interpret it as like kind of like what I was saying. It could be that the heaven is representing one thing, the earth is representing another thing, like spiritual or physical, or it could be the heaven was made first, the fact that it says the heaven and then, or heaven and the earth, maybe even in that order for a reason. I think it's a mistake that it says that and not the earth and the heaven, for example.
And they don't have
Not that it's fully
Sorry, I'm
relevant.
sorry.
Not that it's fully relevant, but I think also there are certain things that are just kind of like what Grandpa was saying, what we're saying.
No, remember this question is David's.
I know, but I'm saying there's certain things that are just not important. Let's say
That's
right?
what my shoe said.
Like Moses,
That's
as
what my
you
shoe
said, wrote
said.
this with the inspiration, and God is gonna inspire him based on, like he's not.
You can't say more than what he's being inspired
Right.
to say.
Exactly, and so even if, like,
that was one of my answers because we were all talking about it. Me, Mashiri, Homer, my brother, and Melanie, and Pat came in on there too. But another thing too, I was even adding that the heaven, what you said first, because okay, so differentiating the earth. Obviously, the earth is where we reside. So the heaven could have been everything else, right? Could have been everything else. So say the heaven and the earth, but we don't reside on the earth. No, but what I'm saying is the way in which, because remember, translation still sometimes it's not accurate. Like some of the words.
No, but that's true. That too.
I understand, but when the Bible says, though, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Isaac was saying that in other translations, it says heavens. So only King James says heaven. So what I'm saying is, I didn't even pay attention to that. I was just looking at the fact that we did not get any clarification. We did not get any clarification what Moses meant. The focus wasn't what the heavens mean. The focus was that God created. Because even as a kid, when you're learning, you're not thinking about the detail about, okay, except for when you go into, yes, he created the heaven and the earth, and then you kind of look at it in a broad way. And also the focus also was like what he did on the first day, second day, third day, and so on, right? But now the fact that David is asking that question, the reason why he's able to ask that question is because as knowledge increases, kids are looking at things in a wider perspective rather than even how we were looking at things when we were younger. I can tell you this one thing. I teach ages 7 to 9 at church, and we were talking about Job. And I don't bring things down or try to break it down too small. I just speak normally when I'm talking to the kids. But if I say a word that they don't understand, I use another word to translate it or to explain it. And I was explaining that, a lot of times people say that Satan went to God to try to test Job and so on. But really, it was not that. God is the one who are pro Satan. First, he saw Satan walking up and down, and he says, "Where are you going? Why are you up and down?" Da, da, da. Then he says, "Have you noticed?" So in one translation, it says, "Do you notice my servant Job? Do you notice?" So then I said it's almost like God was boasting, right? Because he says showing off on Satan and say, look up, and then he responded. So then he had to respond to what God said first, and then he says, "Oh, it's because you have an edge on it. It's because you bless him so much, and if you take away what you have already given him, he's gonna curse you and stuff, right?" And then I didn't even realize it's two times God did the same exact thing. After Satan did that, and then Job says, "Naked I came, naked I will return. Blessed be the Lord give, the Lord take away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Then God saw him again walking up and down, Satan, and he goes, "Have you noticed my servant Job?" Again. And then he goes, "Yeah, it's because okay, if," and he says, "Skin for skin. If you take away his help, then he will stop serving." He says, "Yeah, you can touch him, but don't take away his life, right?" And then Job says, "Yeah, for sure. Now he's gonna curse you." All right. So when I was sharing that with the kids, and then somebody said to me, "So if God, no," then I said, because I said God wanted to challenge Satan and also to test Job. So then um, somebody said to me, and he's 7 years old. He was one of the youngest. He's so smart. He says, "So I have a question. If God knows everything, why does he need to challenge Satan? And why does he need to test Job? Because he already knows what's going to happen." Because I was also saying to them that God already knows that he's not gonna break down, and he's not gonna lose his integrity. That's why he challenged Job, because he already know what he's gonna do. He said, "So what's the point? If God already knows, so why is he gonna bother doing that? It doesn't make sense." And then another kid says, "That's a very good question." That's a very good question. So I said, "Well, put it this way. God knows everything. Satan doesn't know everything, and neither did Job. He did not know everything." He goes, "Oh, that makes sense." So I'm saying to myself, it's like they put me in a corner. And I have to come good, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what they're thinking. And the good thing is, in our class, I give them the opportunity to interact, right? To give me feedback. Like, I don't just talk the whole time. I said, "Do you guys understand? What do I mean?" Like, I will break or say, "And do you get what I'm saying? So what do you understand from that? What do you take from that?" In between as I'm talking. So, oh my gosh, they were very interactive. And sometimes, because these topics have been so, I would say, like, inspiring for them, we are supposed to be finishing up. There are times when they say, "When is our class going to be finished?" Last couple of weeks, they were talking, and I'm looking at the time. I'm like, "Okay, guys, we're 5 minutes apart, 5 minutes away from our time," because we have an hour, and we were like 5 minutes outside of the hour. We wouldn't stop talking if yeah. So what I'm saying, I'm using that as an example that these kids nowadays, like some of the things that these kids are asking, they are not like the questions that other people would have asked. Because some people first they didn't even know the word, and even if you bring it to them, they didn't have half of the information. Because of the social media and all these different options that people have nowadays, they know so much, right? So they're able to, and they're thinking critically too. It's not just knowing, but also thinking. So I think this is really cool. I mean, I'm just sharing that with you guys.
I think, like, um, a lot to be said about like these types of things with scripture, especially interpretation, understanding, and stuff, and like questions that are getting more increasingly like educated in a way, like smart, like questioning, especially based on developments in like science, um, a lot of things, technology, all that kind of stuff. But I think it really boils down to like we were just touching on it a minute ago, like before we got into this, but the whole thing of God revealed to Moses or inspired him to write what he did, and he could have given him more information. But almost in a way, it's like what would be the point? Especially when you think about things like faith and stuff. God really could have told Moses everything to the last second detail, and Genesis could have been a lot bigger and had all this information. But like, what would that have really accomplished? Nothing really important, relevant to us. Yeah, it gives us information on the universe and all that stuff, but really and truly, I don't know. Like, maybe it has its own purpose. Like, why the universe has to be so big. Like we were talking about that at one point. Like why? Like the Earth is so.
What's the
small.
point of it?
Like what's all like
that
all
space?
this extra? Yeah, like But maybe there's a reason. Maybe, and we talked about a little bit about this at one point. Like how sometimes God will, or Jesus specifically a lot, but like God will use like certain things to explain stuff spiritually, like parables. I think like sometimes some things literally exist for the sole purpose to represent or explain something in the spiritual realm, or like a spiritual concept, or idea.
Or who to tell that we will be able to live on those other planets when we become immortals? Because if you have an immortal body, then you like space should not be a deterrent, right? So that means we can fly to the moon and even the sun.
And other planets.
And other planets.
Galaxies, other.
So, or people can go wherever they want.
Maybe your mansion is like Loki.
No, but you see, there are so many things in the Bible that sometimes we are so eager to know something or to understand something that we leave out a lot too as well. For instance, the word of God says the earth belongs to man. When I say belongs to it, this is where you are and that's where you're supposed to stay. Heaven, that's where God is, and God himself, the earth is his footstool, something like that. So, be contented. You find yourself here, and just you can't go anywhere else but in. Just set yourself and take it easy.
But some people
Because
want to know.
we couldn't get to the sun, and we can't get to the stars because it's of late. I'm learning since I'm learning. Stars make the sun look like a miniature.
Right.
The smallest star is thousands of times bigger than the sun.
Yeah, but it's because they're so far away. That's why we're able to see.
I didn't learn things like that when I was a youth.
Yeah.
Makes me think of like a lot of famous scientists like Copernicus and a bunch of those who like discovered things in space. They were all Christian, like they were seeking to know more about God. So it's like out of their desire to know God, they made these scientific discoveries, and it's just like, well, we can do this too.
A lot of those guys are Christian.
Even the universities, they were Christian based, and then everything changed. Huh? What did he say?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, yeah. Schools, universities, they were built on Christianity. But it's interesting. But yeah, if you think of, okay, all right, think about it this way. I do understand what my dad was saying in terms of, let's stay where you are. But think about it this way though. Then you remember that dream that you had long time ago when you were standing on a rock. Yeah, what was the dream about?
You never bring it at this point. You bring it up
all the time because it fascinated me.
Kind of, but
it fascinated.
Like
no,
so verbatim somehow.
So this was a dream, right? And I guess when somebody tells me something, and I guess I would have to maybe daydream or probably visualize it in my mind. So that's why it becomes like real for me, and I don't forget it. So he said he was on a stone, a big rock, and he was just looking at vast group of people as far as his eyes could see. But the people that he was looking at, it was like from different times, like, so you could have the 18th century, 12th century, first century, ADs, BC, all those people who have passed or whatever. And he saw different people dressed differently. So that's how he identified where what time they belong to. So, and they were making a lot of noise, and they look all, what do you say, raggedy or something. And they look miserable and whatnot, right? And then he looked, that was to, like, say, maybe he was just looking in the distance. And then over on the other side, he saw just a small group of people. They were all dressed in white, and they were having a conversation. They were like, yeah. And Daniel, I'm doing it exactly what you said because I don't forget. And he goes, yeah, I have a conversation, and they were just talking. But the way they were talking, that they were calm, they were quiet and collective. And then he saw, like, in the distance, like maybe an imprint, like maybe God is like talking to him or something. And then is like God is showing him the people over the one side, and then showing him the people on the other side. And then the people on the other side, all just in white, says, come over here, Daniel, come over here. And then he jumped down and went over where they were. You remember that? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Wait, which side you jumped over to?
So the people.
Oh, the conversationalists.
The people were dressed in white. They were doing that. He was at her talking and saying, yeah, like when people are having a conversation, they're just like calm and stuff. But because Daniel is animated, then I visualize the whole thing based on what he said. I never forget that. Why did I bring that up? I brought it up because there's so many people that, as the Bible says, wide is the way of destruction, but narrow is the way of the Lord, or to the Lord, right? A lot of people definitely not going to make it. But then at the same time, I'm thinking of all the people in the world who have made it or will be making it. Even though, yes, we'll be immortals, but if the earth being populated today, and yes, it's not fully populated, it's impossible because we have a lot of vast land that is not occupied, but at the same time, can you imagine everybody being present at one time? Like, where would everybody fit?
Everyone that ever existed.
Everyone that ever existed who are making it in the kingdom, where would they all fit?
I wouldn't
Isn't that
imagine a limit.
Huh?
I wouldn't imagine a limit for capacity.
And that's why I think maybe that's could be a reason why the other galaxies are there.
See, that's not far fetched. I think it's very possible because, like what I was saying, like who knows what the purpose could be, right? Like, but my point was that it's not important because it's not important to us now.
At this point.
This is life, like period. Like a lot of that stuff, including the origin of the universe, the creation, how it worked, or what happened first, or what if it was really 7 days or like a period of time. I think it was 7 days. Like some people, like scholars,
Argue.
Yeah, some scholars or people that study the Bible will say, well, really, like day was translated blah blah blah. It really means like this period of time, like God did this. But like, I think I think it's this way, but also it's not important. Like whichever way that I like interpret or believe, and that's like a large like majority of those things in terms of creation. So I don't think it's important.
It's like the purpose of that part of scripture for the audience was given to wasn't to investigate like the heavens or the actual word. It was more so a purpose to explain who God was and how God relates to people since the beginning.
Yeah, but it's just I'm just showing you how young minds are coming up with these questions and these thoughts about the actual exposure that they have right now. So whatever they're thinking, they're bringing it to light.
I think it's good to talk about sometimes because I think, obviously some people who, let's say, are considering Christianity or have questions, like they approach a Christian and ask these kinds of questions and like, so what about this? And then if a Christian is like, I don't know, like that person's not usually as, I don't know, like confident now, like trying Christianity out or like seeing what it's about if a Christian or a person who claims to have faith in God and stuff can't even answer questions to do with that stuff, like concerns or whatever. And like, I remember thinking back one time it was like lesson study at church one time. Pastor Duff was leading it, and a kid or someone, I don't remember who asked, but um, someone asked Pastor Duff, is the earth millions of years old? Like, because that's what people say, like scientists, whatever. Or is it really like, 6,000 years, or like how could it be that old if it is, blah, blah, blah. And Pastor Duff said something, and I didn't really think about it until that day. I was like, that question was asked, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, you know. And Pastor Duff was like, oh, well, the same way how he made Adam as a mature human being, he made the earth in its mature state. So it would appear, if you look at Adam, like if you were to time travel somehow to the day Adam was created, you would look at him and be like, it looks about like 20 something or 30 something. You'd give an estimate based on his appearance, how old he looked, right? And there's maybe scientific methods you could do to determine something similar, but it probably would also still show you his apparent biological age. And then like similar to like the earth, like you could have a similar experience where it looks mature, it looks like it was forming or developing for all these years, but God, similar to Adam, could have just made it in a mature state. And that's what Pastor Duff's answer was basically. And I was like that's actually a really good argument, And like these are the things I think why it's good to still talk about these things sometimes, to reason, to counter certain like ideologies or certain things like that, especially those that may be incorrect. Because as much as we don't obviously know every detail of how the universe was formed or how things came to be, we at least know that certain things are 100% wrong or debunked. Like the universe coming from nothing, for example, as a very basic argument. Like the Big Bang, like it just kind of just appeared, right? Like we know that's just not possible. And I think it's funny because science is also now being like about their own theory, right? Like the Big Bang as a theory. So, like, yeah, my point is like, I think it's so good to talk about sometimes to at least like reason, like educate, be able to argue certain points, but at the same time, at the core of it, it's not important. I don't think it is.
There are so many things that we would want to know, but we don't know. And we won't know neither.
Until
Because the whole thing about God and His works is they are mysteries. And I like the argument about Adam. Because when God made Adam, he was a big man, and he would never make a baby Adam, right? And Adam broke the guy's still. He was a big man. So if what the measurements or the kind of technical capabilities that they have to measure a person now, say that man is 50 years old or 25 or whatever. Adam was already big. How would they measure him? Or for instance, the Bible says that Adam when he died, he was 930 years. 930 years. That 930 years is from when God made him, but not that because he was a mature man. If you're going to measure him when God made him, what would he be? 25, 30, 50, what? 100, whatever, because he was made to be permanent in terms of life. His after he sinned, his life changed. And only 930 could only make 930. Right?
Can you imagine if he lived? Can you imagine if he lived forever then? that's the thing, is like trying to understand that coming from where we're living limited lives now. Like try to understand what that looks like, living forever. And then having
Well, because that would have made a different arrangement in terms of the population of the world too. Because if all the people who were born from Adam were alive, that would be something, you know. That would be
That's why I was
something.
saying that. That's why I was saying
Here anyway, but,
that maybe that's why whoever needs to occupy, whoever needs to be there will be there.
you know what's funny? I think honestly, I'm not gonna say it was inevitable. Obviously, God knew, and He had reservations for everything or plan in place. But it could have been Eve. It was Eve, but that's it, right? But let's say it was like one of their children. It could have been at any point down the line. It really could have happened at any point. It didn't have to be
I don't know.
among the first two, but I think obviously I'm not gonna say God like planned for that to happen, but He knew, and if it wasn't He, I feel like it would have just happened probably
Anyway.
some other way. Because they just kept living and had children if they could do that at the time.
So you mean like if it wasn't Adam and Eve, then maybe somebody could have made a mistake, but then maybe God would probably make
It would be the same outcome. The outcome wouldn't change. I think we'd still be in the same position that we're in now. I'm just saying as hypothetical. I really don't know how it would work, but
probably the way he tried to wipe out the people in the days of Noah, maybe, and just keep a few.
no, I'm saying more so in the
No, because those people would not obey God's instructions, so that's why they had to go. But I'm just saying, so
it's
say
select.
Adam and
Yeah,
Eve
yeah.
did not sin, and then whoever sinned
Would have been cast
would have
out.
been cast out, and then only people who were obedient would have remained.
Mhm.
So then that person who sinned would not have any offspring. So that sin DNA would not pass them.
But what if it was two people though? What if it was two people? If it was like a couple, let's say, like descendants of Adam.
Remember, if you notice what God does when any nation was like he did not, like he knew the sin of the nation or what the offspring would have been. He wiped out everybody, including the baby. That's what his thing. That's what he always did.
No,
I'm just
sometimes.
no, meaning like whenever he chose to, like say he said, okay, like this nation, wipe them out, like he gave all that. So I'm just saying maybe that same approach would have been his approach, because you don't wanna, it's like the bad apple and the good apple together. You want to get rid of the bad apple so that you maintain the.
But listen, man has never follow up and do exactly what God said.
Yeah, we know. We're just arguing like, what if, the question that he asked was, what if Adam and Eve did not do anything wrong? Or what if one of their offspring did it? What would happen? So I'm saying probably just wipe out the offspring and so that they wouldn't be able to have any other children. And then maybe Adam and Eve would have more, and then whoever follow.
It would have happened
And then maybe God.
I think it was prophetic.
What is it? What that is a woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah.
We know we're just speculating,
but
we know that.
But like the fact that it happened this way, I think was also very prophetic. When he was saying with Eve, for example, about the bruise, the heel, whatever, and like we could see how that worked, and even including Jesus and everything. So it's like, okay, this makes sense, kind of. So, but again, it's like obviously maybe it wasn't God's plan. I think what's the guy's name? It's not Gary. Is it Gary? John? Is it Batiste? What's his name?
Yeah, Gary Baptist.
Gary, it is Gary. Okay. Gary. Man, this is years ago now. So there's a lesson study we did on this kind of stuff, I think. And then there was one time where we were talking about this, and that it was about the will of God. I think we were talking about like His perfect will, permissible,
is divine.
I guess, yeah, which is not normal in the world. So we were talking about that and how like God will allow certain things to happen even though it's not part of, even though it's not maybe what He intended or whatever. Like rather in the initial, He still can like kind of curve it back and like it's in line with His plan overall, with His divine will or whatever. And basically like how humanity, Adam and Eve, like going through that and changing the whole course of everything, like kind of teetered off like God's maybe let's say initial plan of having us as people live with Him eternally, like how Adam and Eve were in the garden and stuff. But that it was still able to kind of work itself out with like redemption, like redeeming man back post sin and stuff, and how there's still an opportunity for that. Not for everyone because of free will and choice and sin and stuff like that. But yeah, like how we still have that chance in a way or whatever. Like His will didn't really change like what the end goal of it is, right? For us to spend eternal life with God.
I know one of the
Pastor
things
Doug,
that's happened
just
is that God made man perfect, but at the same time made him with a choice. And because He made him with a choice, that's why we have this confusion and problem in our lives. Adam, if he did the same, then we would not be in the trouble that we are in trouble, that we're in. But at the same time, Adam had a choice. Eve had a choice too. I mean, Adam and Eve, when I say Adam, both of them, they had a choice. And we must make the best use of the reasoning as we make our choices. Because choice is critical for mankind. Critical. Because it's a line, it's like a line. You can't walk on the two lines at the same time, the two sides. The line is too slim. So you're either over here or over here. But you have to make a choice as to which way you want to walk or which way you want to go. That's it.
so I was gonna point out yes, today was Sunday. Yesterday the message was about silence, the silence in your story, the silence in your story. So I thought that was really interesting. I mean, I heard part of that before because he kind of revamped it a bit. But the point is, God allows certain things to happen. You're talking about the will and stuff. How God allow certain things to happen at a certain point in time, but then it doesn't change His will, ultimate will, right? For example, when Abraham decided, he's gonna go have a baby with Hagar, it didn't change the fact that he still had to wait 25 years for him to have a son with his wife, and who was Isaac. Anyway, so the point is, it doesn't really matter how God, does what He does, because if He has a goal in mind and if He has a plan in mind, He's still gonna, put it through. Sometimes He uses our mistakes, even, and it's so funny how He weaves things well. That's why the scripture says all things work together for good. So even in our mistakes, even in the times when we detoured and we didn't go how He wanted us, He somehow provided a way that we end up right where He wanted us to be.
Turn it
So,
around.
that's interesting how, as you were saying about the perfect will versus the permissible will and stuff. And we might be thinking that even
That's a good thinking.
yeah, even
I
sometimes
want
we
to finish,
might
I'm
be
going
thinking,
to say something
even
to
sometimes,
add to that.
even sometimes we might be wondering, like for me, I came to Canada, right? I might be thinking that was my decision because I wanted to do this. And where I was planning to go,
It was.
yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to go to Edmonton. I don't know if you guys knew that. That was my original plan. Yes.
Edmonton, Alberta.
That was my original plan. So for those who don't know the story, so a friend of mine said, "Oh, we want to get a visa to go to Canada." I'm like, "Sure." So his uncle had a store in Edmonton, and I said, "Okay, I would love that." Because in my mind, the way I think is, I'm never always just thinking in the here and now. I'm always thinking ahead. Like every time when I see an opportunity, I'm always thinking, "Oh, I weigh the pros and cons, and then I try to see if it's feasible. So I immediately jumped on the bandwagon, and then I said, I'm gonna go for it. And so I did my homework, I did my research, I found all the information I need to find. My parents didn't know anything. I was 21. And I did all the research, did everything I can to find out what I needed to do. And I sought like information from other people from workplace and so on and so forth. So then I went and I got my visa, right? And my colleague was supposed to get his visa too. He did not get it. He did not get his visa. So that didn't work out in that regard. So then I said, okay, well, so then he goes, oh, so you're gonna wait or like we were just discussing it, right? He was just a good friend of mine. So I said, but the thing is, in my mind, I was thinking that this is how everything was gonna work out because I had all plans. I put everything into action, all my ideas, everything. I even said to him, look, you need to do this, 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 this. I didn't even have money in my account. And back then, you have to have money in your account in order to get a visa. Somebody at the workplace at the time lent me, I don't know if it was either 10,000 or 100,000 Jamaican dollars. And I borrowed that money and I put it in my account and I let it stay for a little while. I did everything that I knew I'm supposed to do because I think, like I said, people who I know who have either been in that situation before or wherever, they share with me. And I think I don't think I had a website then, so I don't know how I got information, but I think I went and read all the different the details about how to get what and stuff and what to say when you go in and you have a conversation with the person at the desk because all of that is critical. Like you can go and you have everything in place and the way you talk, then they can turn you down. So they said to me, make sure you're confident, make sure you know what you're talking about. So when they asked me, where are you going? And I told them, yeah, I have uncle, what is his name? And I told them everything that I was told to say and everything. And I said, okay. And everything went, he went and it's his uncle and he didn't get through. So I look at it and I say, fast forward, I look at and I said, wow, God detoured my life, even though I thought that I was going to go this way, but he didn't want that. He didn't want it that way. And so now we might be wondering why some of our plans don't work out. Like so many times, I've noticed it that I plan a lot of things, and even while I was planning to come to Canada, I was also planning to buy a house at 21 years old. Let me tell you why. Because at the bank where I worked at, it was a central bank, and they had this thing where if you get a house, you get a loan, you can pay back the loan at 1%. Yes, at the time. This was in 1993. No, before it was 1992. And even before that, so I started working at the bank in September 1991. I just left high school and I went to the newspaper, found the place, applied, and I got in. Then when I got in, I was thinking about going to school, and I think I'd gone to my dad at the time, and we were trying to get student loan to go into school, but that wasn't working out. So I said, okay, plan B. So like I said, I'm always thinking ahead. Like if this doesn't work out, I'm already thinking over here. I'm not just like sitting here and waiting, and I don't do that. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go to the bank. So I went to the bank, start working there. And then somehow somebody said to me, oh, you want to work? Because where we started working was like inside the area where you inspect the money, then you punch, then you look to see if the money is not good. And if it's not good, then that one goes to be destroyed. And then the other money, it goes back into circulation. So that's the department I was working at. And then somebody said to me, oh, you want to work downstairs in the vault? And I'm like, okay. So I went that day because I'm young, I'm not doing anything. I didn't really have much. I was 19. Yeah. And then I went down to work in the Baltimore area. And then I didn't even know that I wasn't really allowed down there. But then because I was helping and stuff, then they asked me, well, you want to work down here? I'm like, sure. And I thought that was more exciting. And that was more money too. Because not only was I getting increase in my pay, and then even some people who were working at the department where I was working first, they were like, oh, so you're leaving us now? I'm like, yeah, because they asked me, so I'm gonna go, all right? So then I went down to the vault area, and then while I was working down there, they gave us loan allowances for food and taxi. So I was saving that money up for food and taxi allowance. Plus, you bank your overtime hours. Plus, you get your income. So I had all of that coming through. But I didn't have good money management skills. I was spending money and doing all sorts of stuff. So I didn't have anything to show for it. That's why by the time, fast forward to when I was gonna come to Canada, I didn't really have much going on. But just before I decided I was gonna apply to come to Canada, I I went to the manager because somebody told me that you can apply. But at the time too, even though I was working in vault, I was permanent. No, so I was temporary, full time. So I was not. So you have temporary part time, temporary full time, permanent part time, permanent full time, or something like that. So I was temporary full time work, but it was more for contract and I renewed it, not permanent. So only permanent full time people can get loans from the bank. So, but me with my brave self, I went to go talk with the manager. She's a finance manager. So I went upstairs to go talk with her and I said, I would like to apply for a loan to buy a house. And I already knew where I was going to buy a house because I always liked two-story houses from I was a kid. I always think that you can utilize the space better, right? Because one flat property or like the one-story property, I feel like you can only build so much on the land, right? So that's how my brain works. Anyway, so there was a place, I forgot what it's called. I think over Bridgeport side, you know where I'm talking. That's kind of where Sister Senior lived. So over that side, they were building some two-story buildings at the time. And it was closer to where
That's where Sister Senior, right?
yes. So it was closer to where the bridge.
That's West Bay.
Yeah. No, not West
No,
Bay.
Not where.
No, it's not West Bay. It's that Bridgeport area.
Yeah.
But it is
Yeah,
over
I know
so you
where,
see when you go over the bridge, it's over the right side.
uh-huh.
So over that side.
Mhm.
So they were building at the time, this was 1992. They were building at the time some two-story thing. But
I don't remember.
the houses were
I don't
small.
I don't remember what the name of the scheme.
Yeah, they were small, they were yellow. They were yellow building, like not really very.
But I know that where Sister Senior I think it's one of those houses church got.
Yeah, but it's after that they were building those new ones. So I knew already where I was gonna, and at the time they were just building new houses. So I went and checked out the cost of the house. My parents don't know this. I went and checked out the cost of the house. I went
I think it's Westport, the place.
Westport, yes.
Mm.
So I went to check out the cost of the house. I went to the bank and I said, "This is what I need. I need a loan." And I heard that you guys are paying, charging 1%, and stuff. And then she was drilling me, asking me these questions, and I was just answering her. I don't know. I think when I was young, I just think that I could do anything. I had this thought in my head, like I could do anything my mind put. Anything that my mind tell me to do, I could do. So anyway, so then she was drilling me, and then but then I said to myself, I really want to either come to Canada or get a house. And I ended up coming here. So I didn't buy, that's why I didn't buy a house. But I don't even remember if I even go back and talk with her. I didn't do anything. I just dropped it. And one other thing I did too, I wrote a letter of resignation. So I set everything up before I left Canada, Jamaica. I packed my suitcase. I brought everything that I know I needed, even my transcripts, my high school transcript, everything. I brought everything with me. And I told my sister, only she knew. I said to her, I'm going to come and I'm writing my resignation letter. And if I like it there, hand in my resignation letter for me. So I took 2 weeks vacation, and the 2 weeks vacation turned out into the rest of my time here. So when I saw 1 week pass and I said to her, I like it here, so hand in my resignation for me. so that she was able to do that. So I had everything set up before I left. I didn't like come here and then, okay, can you do it? No, I had everything set up, and then shortly after I came, the people who I owed the money, I made sure I transferred the money back to them. Even I think there was an insurance, because I had an insurance policy, I don't remember where that is. And then I told the person to that I was going to send the money. So I used to babysit and I was sending money down by Western Union, all that kind of stuff. Every penny that I worked, I sent it down until I paid them off. So I didn't owe anybody any money. So yeah, it's. But what I'm saying is that was my plan. That was my thought process. That was what I thought I was doing because that's what I wanted, you know. But it turned out to be not really my plan. Sometimes God has a different way to change everything and switch things around. So we might be thinking that we're doing this, and we might be so focused on it and it don't work out, and we're like, why didn't it work out and stuff? But then we probably just need to just step back and say, maybe God wanted it a different way, you know? Because sometimes we are so bent that whatever we want is how it's supposed to be, but that's not true. In so many cases, I can say for me, a lot of things that I might have, chosen or whatever, God just disappointed it. And then I just have to accept it and just look at maybe the bright side. And then the next thing too is when you notice how things happen in the long run, you realize, oh, that's why you didn't allow this to happen, because that was not your plan. But sometimes we make mistakes though. Like I said initially, I said, we probably don't make informed decisions, and sometimes it comes to bite us. But then God still worked it out somehow. You know what I mean? So
It's really interesting to hear your story of that.
yeah, it's what happened. Maybe that's why Daniel said what he said to you earlier.
Yeah.
That because some things that I do, a lot of people wouldn't do. Because I think I'm more of a risk taker.
Yeah.
I take risks first and then I think about it later. Sometimes I do that. But the thing about it, if I think, there it is. The
Wait,
thing
what? Ice? Sorry.
Yeah, ice.
Ice? What is one? Ice? Okay.
Yeah. So when Daniel said, the problem is some people may say, oh, why you gonna do this and why you gonna do this?
Yeah.
I have to know for myself if it's gonna work or not.
Yeah.
I don't rely on what people say or what yes, when I do my what do you call it, my homework or my research to find out what works, but I don't rely on what people say that way.
So when I started to talk about you coming to Canada and things, and you were saying that sometimes God works. We don't know how it's going to work out, but I mean, when God has initiated something, He has that in mind for you or whatever. For instance, look in the Bible, the Assyrians were wicked people, the most wicked nation on earth at that time when it was, when God sent Jonah. Those people were so wicked. They overrun all the other nations around them, including Babylon. And Babylon was so great. Anyhow, the point is that they gave Israel a hard time. They could not plant their crops. The Assyrians, take away what they have and overrun them and kill them and do all kind of thing. And God told Jonah to go and warn them and tell them that they are going to be destroyed. And Jonah felt so good about that. Jonah was a sufferer, in Israel. And he felt so good. He said, all right, man, kill them, man, kill them. And God, no, turn a different way. While God killing them, him finding a new place to go. Or finding somewhere
That's
else.
what he thought.
Yeah, that's what he thought. So take a ship, going in the opposite direction. And we know the story, long story. But God had the intention of doing something with Nineveh or at Nineveh that Jonah did not know, and Jonah didn't care either. So when he thought that he was running from God and just run right into God's trap, a big fish, and the big fish took him where he was supposed to go. I say Jonah had to go to Nineveh. Jonah couldn't do anything else but go to Nineveh. That's the only thing he had to do.
He went kicking and screaming.
Right? So the Bible said that Nineveh was a large city, and it's supposed to take him 3 days to cover the city with the message. And when the fish took Jonah on the shores of Nineveh, we don't know how long it took him from the fish to begin the message. But the Bible said it took him 1 day to cover 3 days' journey. The man get propped up in such a way. Right? It's 3 days and 3 nights and not no sleep. It didn't sleep and didn't eat. The only thing it do is pray in the fish belly. Pray for 3 days and 3 nights. Because I said that 3 days and 3 nights, God would use that for a purpose. And that's why the Bible can't run. Whenever God says something or do something, just do it. If you don't do anything, what God says, he's gonna penalize you for that. Somehow, somewhere. Anyhow, Jonah went to the city and he preached the word. Get 40 days and Nineveh shall be destroyed. And the Bible says the same wicked people, the same wickedest country on earth at that time. The king got up off his throne. The king made a decree that everybody in Nineveh should not eat for a certain time. Fasting, Everybody had to go on fasting. All the animals went on fasting. No baby no get no breast milk. No animal no get no food in the stall. Nobody. Everybody went down in fasting and prayer. And God heard their cry and relieved them in terms of turn back the curse that was supposed to be on them. God didn't do it. And Jonah was vexed. But Jonah didn't know that God was going to use that same experience with 3 days and 3 nights. That's why Jesus had to be in the tomb 3 days and 3 nights. And I will hear preachers and people talking all kind of thing. He was crucified Friday and raised Sunday morning. No, so. That is not true. He was in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. If he was not in it for 3 days and 3 nights, then the Bible is wrong. And Jesus himself is wrong. Because Jesus, Matthew 12:40 says, as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the fish belly, so shall the Son of Man, speaking of himself. Matthew 12:40, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. And we have it all turned upside down, crossed with, all kind of way. And we have some educated, knowledgeable, spiritual leaders have long letters behind it, before and behind their names, preaching that Jesus was crucified Friday and raised Sunday morning. Right? But God's word cannot lie. God cannot say something that is not true. Right? Neither Jesus, because Jesus is the God too. Right? And so, you see, when things go a certain way, we have to look back. Well, there are some things that can be related exactly to the Bible. There are some things that we can relate directly to the Bible, because the Bible wasn't really written about us individually. It's just in a broad sense, mankind. But when it comes to Jesus and other things, in other words, even you see a mistake that Michelle was talking about Abraham. God had that set up in that journey to, God had, because Jesus had to come through to Abraham. Jesus had to come through the son of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and going down the line. Not Ishmael. It had to come through Isaac. And God, although confusion and mismanagement and what have you, and Abraham ended up going to Hagar, our child, and whatever, and things. God allowed his plan to come through the right channel, because Jesus had to come. And in them, when you look at Jesus' genealogy, there were some people in it who were exempt, right? in the same line, right? When you look at this, when I went to Jericho, the harlot was Jesus' great grandmother, and you have other people like that, but God had a plan, and God does things that sometimes we can't understand. Why does He allow this to happen? But you see, He had a plan way down the road, and whether you use Jesus, whether you use not Mark, Matthew's genealogy or Luke's genealogy, which is actually different with some of the people, but it will come back right to Jesus, and it come back right to Adam, or I say it comes back to one of them say go back to Adam, and one go back to Abraham. But at the same time, the point is that when God has a plan for you, it must come true, with all the confusion and botheration and ups and downs and whatever and things. And so we just have to follow what God says. Because the same how the Bible begins, is the same way it ends, Because the whole Bible is one book, one journey, one story. You can't go idea why. It has to follow the trend. It has to, right? And look at it. Look at sin. Sin begins in the Bible as disobedience. And it goes right through the Bible down to Revelation 22. Jesus taught the Bible. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word put on flesh and whatever. John 1, verse 1. In the beginning, because Jesus is the creator. God is the master, the father of Jesus, really. But at the same time, Jesus is the creator. Apparently, God just say, let there be light, and Jesus just do it. Apparently.
Or Jesus was the word that or in other words, He was the word that was spoken.
Well, if you want to put it that way, God spoke the word, which is Jesus. But remember, Jesus was with God from before the word was in any case too. Yeah. Because remember, Jesus said, glorify me in John 17, glorify me with the glory that we had before the world was. So He's talking about their relationship before there was any creation. So the Bible is a mystery. We just have to follow it. And if you miss a point and try to get out with it,
I was making a point.
It's not gonna work.
I know this may sound weirdish, but we were talking about the celebration of Christ's birthday, how it's taken to another level that where people probably focus on that so much that they forgot what the whole gist was. So I said some people who even don't believe in God, they celebrate Christmas or whatever the case may be, right? And the thing is, the focus is on that so much that some people who even think of Jesus just as a baby coming into the world don't even know that He existed before with God. So the focus is, and I said something, but I know it might be a little bit far-fetched for some persons, that we don't know why things happen over time, but if we know the same way how the devil knew that if he tried to tempt Eve, that she would, like maybe if there was a chance for her to give in, right? It's the same way how he devises plans to come up with things that cause people to lose sight of what is where we're supposed to focus. Meaning, if we're supposed to focus on Jesus being with God versus Him just a baby, so it's like it kind of becomes diluted a bit, because then the focus is so much on Him being this little baby in the manger and stuff. Not to say that was not part of it, but because that is such a focus, that's why some people think that He was a prophet, or that think that He was just a man, or that He was this and this and that, because the focus became Him coming in the world in the form of flesh that they did not know, and they did not know that He was already in pre-existence before all of this happened. So which means it's kind of unfortunate that this is how it is, but at the same time we have to understand who is the mastermind behind it. And another thing I was noticing when I was reading the scripture to the kids in Job is that you can notice when Jesus asked, no, God or Jesus asked the devil, what were you doing? He says, I was walking around to and fro. And the scripture says, watching people. Why is he watching people? Because he studies us and he needs to see how we behave and stuff. And that's why he already had an answer for Job, for God about Job, because he already knew Job's behavior. He already knew what Job was doing. And that's why he had the answer. He said, if you take away this from him or that from him, this is what is going to happen, because I see that you have blessed him. I see that you have done all this for him, right? And if you do that, then you know what's going to happen? He's not going to worship you anymore. So, which means what I'm saying is, it's unfortunate that that's where we are, and even people who don't even believe in Christ are celebrating Christmas and stuff. So, it is just unfortunate.
Yeah, true.
You know, so it is what it is, but we just have to be cognizant of how the
Usually, Christmas, what the benefit of Christmas is merchants, for the merchants who sells and buy and whatever. And you know, the lick the finger. People say the lick the finger, you know.
yeah, because it's
And
the most
you know,
lucrative
Michelle,
time of
I'm gonna leave now. And it's so unfortunate that a lot of people who are actually, really, you know, Christians, genuine Christians, still get caught up in it, right? Although this Christmas thing is not, it's a hidden thing coming from people who don't know God at all, right? When I read the Bible and Jeremiah and all those places, you see what was happening. And when Babylon, not Babylon, not Babylon, Rome, when Rome was in power, right? That's when a lot of this coming up is just a matter of marrying Christianity with paganism, you know, where we get some of these things. The amalgamation with paganism and Christianity bring out all of these things. But because, I mean, there was the celebration of Christmas was on a long time, it wasn't called Christmas, because there was no Christ. It's to get people who are needed to come into Christianity now. Why we get the name Christmas? You know, but the celebration was already there. I'm in Jeremiah 10, I'll show you. And all that. And not just Jeremiah, but other places in the Bible. By the way, I have to go and put my mouth to bed and all that. Excuse me.
Yes, segued it. Yes, segued it. Sorry. Did you guys segued?
There were a few topics, different topics.
Yeah, is that? Yeah. Yeah.
what we're trying to do.
Oh! Yeah, you can't do it with your smart. I know, I'm coming back.
You have to be serious to listen.
Yeah, I do.
You did it? Is you did it or him?
Oh,
Both you guys
I
did
did
it
it
similar
just
to
now, but he did it correctly. So. It's hard to play that though, actually. Play it. There you go.
I'm disappointed with my chicken. Feels like garbage.
Oh, it's okay. It's
I left it in the thing too.
the sorrow's in it.
Huh?
The sorrow.
So good.
I had like 3, 4 cups.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So good.
But I don't drink a lot of fluid because I ate enough food, so I didn't want to drink too much with the food. because I don't like to drink a lot of liquid. Most time in the morning, I drink most of my liquid, but it's amazing, which I already said, because it's rich. It's like a sorry that I've never had before ever in my life. It doesn't need to
In
be.
your life?
Yeah,
Oh, that's hyper.
it is. Okay. It's when I say that it's a sorry that I've never had in my life, it's because
The kind.
the richness of it. It's the
True.
thickness. You
Should
ever
I
had
say
anything
cool?
like that before?
Usually I have
It's usually thin.
Jamaican.
You know what they do? They put so much. I think the
that's what
syrup
I mean.
is so concentrated
Shouldn't
that I don't know if they even put like I don't know what they use as a base to make it so thick. But normally when you have syrup, you actually taste a lot of ginger and all that kind of stuff. But I don't taste that.
There is some
No, I said, what did I say?
ginger.
I don't taste what? A lot of that? Did I say a lot of it? Exactly.
There's some.
No, a lot of it. That's why I'm trying to wonder
No,
whether.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
Oh,
Like you can taste some, but it's like it's not like
it's not overpowering.
like it's not in your face.
It's not overpowering. It's like just enough.
That makes sense. I literally spelled it out, or like sounded like shut up. I don't. Does that mean understand?
No.
Oh no.
You speak fluent French?
No, just love it.
Oh. Do you? Nada. Hablo español, no francés.
Muy bien, vamos a hablar juntas.
Woo! Muy poquito. I forgot. No recollecto that you speak Spanish. I forgot.
I need to practice
I know. Have you been practicing?
Spanish.
Yeah.
When did I ever speak Spanish?
What do you want to practice? What is it?
German, Russian.
Russian. I want to finish that. Yeah.
Who is Camisa?
Finish that.
This is a church, my friend's church.
They gave you guys that?
I used to play there,
Okay.
so I got.
Oh, they had like an event.
No, they're just like, hey, we have sweaters. Yeah. Your ear sweating.
You know, without one.
Hey, you got that?
Well, did you guys enjoy dinner?
Yes, thank you so much.
The conversation was rich.
Mucho delicioso.
Really? You think so?
Muy,
Muy?
muy
You like the
delicioso.
fish? You like the fish?
I mean, mucho is a big river.
I like the fish. I don't have fish that often.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't. So why you say muy delicioso?
Everything else. Okay. The food in general, I would say, is it was pretty good. Like, yeah, just like solid dinner, you know.
And you know the funny
Specifically,
thing is? Okay, so on the menu we had salad, we had chickpea pasta, we had pasta beef sauce, we had veggies, we had fish, and we had
it's my grandpa's food.
what do you call it? We had that's supposed to be jerk chicken, but I let it stay in the thing too long. But anyway, the point is, what was the point?
You had a lot of food?
I thought that maybe I would have been food because I said, oh, what did I say when you asked me about dinner? I said, well, it's gonna be mild. This is not mild.
Yeah, I would say it is.
Yeah, it's small.
Like, this is not.
It's
not
not over
little,
the top,
but it's also not.
over the top.
Yes, it's still.
But my plate was still full, and I was thinking that I'm only gonna get a little bit of everything. But by the time everything on the plate is still much. So we're gonna put it in the dishwasher. But yeah, thanks guys for. So then we are gonna play Scrabble next. Woohoo! Thank you for watching. I hope you were inspired by this video, and I hope that you continue to like, subscribe, and share all our videos with all your loved ones. And as we usually say,
Let's keep it real.
let's keep it real. Ciao. Have a wonderful day.